What's up, everybody? It's me, Johnny G, and welcome back to another episode of Arknights. And this particular, the Rides to Lake Silberneherze event, we are continuing with this and hopefully finishing it up with this particular episode. And the thing is, we're going to start it off like we've been. We'll do a couple pulls here. I've got some certificates. I got some Originite Prime and stuff that I'm itching to use to continue working towards getting Degenbrecher, hopefully. I did finally get her. When I was in the middle of recording my last episode is when I finally got her on my main account, but I'm close on this one too. And I want to continue trying to get her because I finished, I had enough resources that I was able to max her out like right away. And I'm working on specializing her mastering her skills. And she's just insanely good. It is so hard to justify not having her on your team. So I've got to have her in some way, shape, or form. But we finished RSS 6 last time, so we should have 7, 8 in the last little story bit to finish here, and hopefully that is it. Now, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so let's go into the head hunting here, and we are at 114 on our pulls. Now, we did get the last 6-star we got was Thorns, so we're getting close here. But if you guys remember, and anybody that's been pulling for Degenbrecher, you should know that the focus selection, once it hits 150, if you haven't gotten another 6-star by that point, you haven't gotten Degenbrecher, she will be guaranteed to be your next one after 150 pulls. So I got her around 140 some. I think it was like 146, 140, 144, 146, somewhere like that on my other account. So, hopefully we can manage to nab her before here, but if not, is what it is. I'm not worried about max potential, but I'm just worried about getting her once. So, that being said, let's do 10 pull. That's a 5er here. We keep getting Kafka, there's Ponsiris. Wow, okay. Interesting. Another 10er. Come on. All right, what do we got left here? We got almost enough for a 10. We're close. Let's see something here. I didn't have Ponsiris on this account. That's right. She was in the Siesta event, something like that. Get out of May here. And Kafka. The eccentric gardener that she is. I don't know if I have certificate stuff. Oh, I do. What do I have distinction wise? Oh, I'm like very, very close to that. Let's use this up. Give me 300 more. And if I do this, we're like right on the cusp of a full 10.
She's afraid of me.
Oh no. Let's see. All right, I got a little more OP here. So let's go ahead and use this. We're at 137. This should, I'll have enough that I should be able to get to 150 if I don't get her by then. Here's a 6 though. Let's see. Third one to last, so
I am
8th position.
A medical intern.
8th position, here we go.
With surgery and internal medicine, among us.
My luck is I won't get her on here. Or if it happens like yesterday.
Thank you and everyone from Rhodes Island for helping us.
Yeah, yesterday. Because yesterday was when I recorded last and... Ooh, gravel!
What's wrong? Your face is beet red. That's just how I say hello.
I am Shirayuki. Princess Fumizuki told me to assist.
Yesterday is when I recorded. Yeah, that's when I got her on my main account.
Operation Reserve Team A6 reporting in. I'm sorry, my teammates are always fighting it.
My name is Plume, formerly of the Pontifica Cohors Lateran. I will be your sword and your wings.
May. Okay. All right, here we go. Yes, we got mommy!
You can just use that.
Let's go, baby!
I looked through the contract and the scope of my work seems unchanged. I am still a bodyguard.
OP Mommy
Just the employer's
is part of the team now. Let's go!
Hey, Doctor.
And we got another
you already
Lido.
know me. Do
Oh.
you really still have to do this?
Hey, guess what? She's sus.
Formalities
Anyways,
matter.
let's go. I got Mommy. Guess that means I gotta get another body pillow cover. I didn't say that. Anyways, yeah, let's go. Ha. Behave. 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 Don't behave. Do not behave at all. At all. Do not behave. All right, I'm done headhunting. Let's see what I can do to her. Not that way. As far as possibly getting her to E1 here.
Schlecht.
Whatever you said, I'll just agree. Okay. Okay. Let's do a quick farm on the certificate thing here. Whoops. The technical drills. All right. Be right back. All right. So we tried 2 farms there. Whoops. Sorry, but I think Mountain is getting offed of my team. As much as I have enjoyed Mountain, Degenbrecher shall become his replacement.
Nicht schlecht.
Ooh, I just need a few of these. So, we're gonna farm these next, so I can get the guards, and then while I'm at it, I'm gonna get the bigger chips, so that I can get ready for E2. Alright, so, we went ahead and we farmed what we needed to go ahead and Elite 1 our Degenbrecher, so let's go ahead and take care of that here.
Formalities like these remind me of the time when Carlin trade was first established. Gnosis was so full of himself as he declared my position to the others. It was then that I decided to wait for a chance. To smash that cocky face of his to the ground.
Oh god, her accent. Anyways, let's go ahead and first of all, we're gonna set that as default. Let's upgrade the skill as much as we can. We got stuff. Ooh, aggregate cyclocene. Ugh. I don't have that, and I don't know where to get that. So, obviously, I'm not that far in the story to get those. I have no idea how I had it on my account, my other account, because I'm not that far in the story either. So, we may have to hold off on her skill level a little bit, but that's all right. That's fine. And I do have enough stuff. We're gonna bump her up a little bit here.
Schlecht.
And oh, she's already stronger than Mountain. Holy crap. Okay, she's replacing Mountain. I'm sorry, Mountain, but oh, you gotta go.
Is
You
this
gotta
a
go.
mission or a training session?
That's all the above. All the above, sweetheart. All of the above. Let's go ahead and exchange these, and let's get right into that event here, and let's get these few bits going. Now, one thing I can do too is I'll keep completing these things and then farm a little bit that I can use to get the LMD and the battle records and things out of here, and I can use those to bump her up. Yeah, I don't see those items here. I've got transmuted salt, but I don't have that other thing. All right, let's go into here and RS-7. RS-7, RS-8, and the final story bit. So let's go. Okay. It's funny too how when she was pronouncing Genosis there, I've heard it Genosis from some people, Other characters have mentioned it, that name or whatever, like pronunciations from different voices, voice actors, whatever. But she called him Gnosis with the silent G. So I'm curious as to what it is. I kind of like the sound of Gnosis better, but it is what it is. But hey, maid. Everyone else about has already scarpered off. Scarpered? Maybe scampered? Why are you still here? Shouldn't you have left as well, Madame Cirrus? Do I really have to, just because you tell me to? The statue is the fruit of everyone's labors. If anything happened to it, how could I break the bad news to them? Is it the fruits of everyone's labors, or Enceodus's? No wonder I saw the Saintess hold you back just now. I think I saw her tell you something, too. You hardly sound surprised. I'm not an idiot. She looked completely blindsided, but how could that possibly be? It's just that, looking at it from her perspective, the best position she can be in is knowing a little bit, but not too much. And so she sent you to go for that last mile for her, huh? Well, what is it then? Of the people currently drawing close, one is Degenbrecher, while the other is a Trilby Asher from Victoria. A Trilby Asher? He couldn't... No, he wouldn't go that far. Did the Saintess ask you to stay, just so you could warn me about this? Let's go with that. Allow me to look after the statue in your stead. Oh, here they come across the ice. This ends here. Sure enough, you are the Black Knight. I will not underestimate you, but that is precisely why you should realize that you cannot best me. Oh, I like the confidence, but my patience runs thin. The way you scurry and flit about has already started to bore me. My apologies, madam. I have been derelict in my duty, if you feel that way. However, if I may speak freely, Madame Degenbrecher, I feel no murderous intent in your swings. You were invincible during your days in Kazimierz, the Black Knight that struck terror into her opponents with her mighty blade, but now you're reduced to using these edgeless toys. I think you're pissing her off there, buddy. These edgeless toys will be enough for the likes of you. I only ever used that Litanian greatsword in competition. The sponsors demanded it. The greatsword-wielding Litanian warrior, the artless freak. Call me what you will, it matters not. But it's time to cut this dance short. You seem to have forgotten something. The reason why I started using these Degenbrechers in the first place. What? The frosty bite of her blow stops his words before they leave his mouth. The frigid winds of Kjerag stab him. The unfeeling mountain snows crush him, and the ice-cold Degenbrechers slam into him with all the force of a glacier. There's no resisting such an attack. Gah! This is but a warning. There are many who wish to cause trouble for Enceodus, and if I could crush them all dead, there would be a lot less trouble for me. But unfortunately, there are some people who are much more useful alive than dead. You, for example. I see. I thank you for your mercy, Madame Degenbrecher. These weapons, I use them for a very simple reason. They have no edge, so it's much easier for me to keep men like you alive. If I were to use a little more force with these blunt weapons, most would become nothing more than mincemeat. That's how it's always been from the very start. Among those who step up to fight me, many would be easily crushed. It does not matter if you are a caster of Litanian or a knight of Kazimierz. In the end, you are the same. Faith, ideals, grit, and perseverance, firm determination, they all fall before sheer brute force. It's hilarious. Being broken too easily is its own complication. The woman who took her weapon's name looks down disdainfully upon Victorian before her. He had been by no means an easy foe to handle, so it was up to her and only her to face him. But even so, it has not been particularly difficult to defeat him. The road from being a destitute, artsless nobody to becoming the Black Knight, 3-time consecutive champion, was not an easy one to walk. Compared to that, anything that came after was only a trifle. By your standards as the Black Knight, the natural-born warrior, there can't be many who aren't considered fragile. Hardly. If you had been even the slightest bit more serious, I would have had to put in a lot more effort. Unfortunately for me, as an intelligence officer, it is not in battle where I have to get serious. Well, she took care of him. But now what? Wow, they've already climbed up all the scaffolding. These Trilby Ashers are skilled indeed. There's not a person in all of Kjerag who would scarper from the mountains. Scarper? Okay, so they did say scarper. Who would scarper from the mountains to this island while getting hunted by Degenbrecher. Could there be many such people in Victoria? Surely there are terrors all about these lands. Indeed, there are terrors all about these lands, and we must cope with them in our own way every day. I have half a mind to find a replacement for myself as Saintess. Oh, perish the thought. Wasn't it you who sought to be a Saintess in the first place? You truly do resemble your brother in that regard. You both love giving yourselves things to do. I am nothing like him. Oh yes, all right. He's very much like you then. Is that better? Yar? Yes? Do you still remember our agreement? Which one? This is no time for jokes, Yar. Yes, of course, I remember. Kjeragandr need only watch over her people, nothing more. Yes. At that time, I had already begun doing some things under the table. If we depended on her even for this matter, then whether it was him or me, our ideals would be but empty words and bluster. It's not quite so easy being a bystander, you know. I ask her only to be patient for a little while longer. All right then, although I'm not sure if she can even hear our little agreement. Anyway, I just came to see if we could change the statue a bit, that's all. I can't believe you haven't given up on that yet. This is one matter that I'm definitely not giving up on. Oh, it's funny. Oh, I think the statue might be a bit slanted after Degenbrecher's kick just now. The Trilby Asher isn't half bad either. Him grabbing the statue's finger to adjust the balance of his body sure was a surprise. But there's the real deal. Do you think they could help me thin out the face a bit? I was far too naive from the start, thinking that it didn't matter what I looked like on the outside. Made me not really care much about my appearance. After many interactions with others, my aesthetic senses changed alongside the people, and so we end up with the look I have today. Those drawings in those ancient tomes persisted all the while. I should have taken those books away from the Edelweiss clan when they were out of the house. Who expected them to suddenly decide to build a statue of Kjeragandr anyways? Those two sure climbed up to the top of the statue real quick. Ah, that's right. Shave the cheek on that side down a little bit more. Damn it, don't shade down the sides of her hair, too! I quite like those. From this angle, it doesn't look half bad, though, does it? Where was I? Right, after getting to know Enya, I started to look after my appearance more. I would always go with her when she would sneak out for walks, recommending me various cute ornaments and trinkets. After who knows how long, I started to like those things myself. Maybe we can replace that lock of hair that got shaved off with a big piece of jewelry. I should write that down somewhere. So there's that reveal. The statue's supposed to be of her because she is Kjeragandr. Must be tough being a Trilby Asher. Looked like he was about to jump from the top of the head himself, but then Degenbrecher sent him flying with a mean kick. They're fighting in midair. She kicks him, there he goes. She's standing on the boob. Poor guy. She's standing on the boob and just kicks. That's wow. Now that I think about it, those other fellows that Degenbrecher fought, I wonder if they felt the same way as this Trilby Asher. Knowing that you were not only a match, that you were not truly a match, but with no other option but to struggle for your life, unsure if you'll have the opportunity to get out in one piece, until finally you realize that there really is no such opportunity. No. Those with more mercenary motivations for battle are much weaker than him. Are you satisfied? Yes? You seem to be quite pleased while you were watching us give the statue a light trim. Is it to your liking now? It's not bad, I'd say. Good. Where are you going? Despite the fall, he is not the type to die so easily. He will be back soon enough. I'll resume keeping an eye on him. You're certain he won't best you next time? He was no match for you during that fight earlier, but I fear that if he had truly put his heart into it, he would have proven the victor quite easily. Moreover, there's hardly a guarantee that he's not bait, correct? I will leave that sort of thinking up to Ensiotis. Ensiotis cannot be here at the moment, Surely you know that better than me. Allow me to take the lead. You? Or to be more precise, allow the Saintess. Kiara buzzes the communicator's terminal in her hand. Did you get all that, Saintess? Allow me to take the lead. You did well, Degenbrecher. My pleasure. Will you be coming to the bonfire banquet tonight? I'm afraid not. I'm not fond of busy parties. What a shame. What did you have in mind? I would like you to watch over a foreign envoy. I believe diplomacy will prove more effective than force in this case. He might not actually be a foreign envoy. He might very well be. All right, I am in your hands, Saintess. Her kitty mouth is so adorable. I love Praminix. You know the exit's in the other direction, right? I know. Madam Degenbrecher. Phew. You should be able to pull through, right? Alright, stop rubbernecking, clear the way. Let's think of a way to get him out of that hole first. Based on his clothes, he looks like some kind of foreigner. I don't think we even could handle handle water that cold. Oh god, Harold. Hey, mind if I ask what's going on here? Some poor fellow just flew on over here from the island in the middle of the lake. Smashed a hole right through the ice. What? Alright, coming through. Make way, excuse me. Thank you. Harold squeezes his way through the crowd, and the moment he sees what all the fuss is about, he cannot help but laugh. A perfect circle has been punched through the frozen surface of the lake, and in the center of that circle floats a corpse. And so it fell to him to come to the rescue. This water, brr. These old bones aren't spry enough to handle that. Excuse me, anyone got some kind of stick or the other on hand? He's a friend of mine, and I'm here to get him out of there. Nothing like that over here. Maybe you can head over to the nearby finning village. Ask someone there if you could borrow a finning pole. No need, I've got something that can help. Nice, thanks. Rosalind? Hey, Didishka, fancy meeting you here. I'll lend you my weapon. Let's get that guy out of there. Cheers. We'll help too. Oh my. Using Rosalind's weapon, the people work together to dredge the corpse up and out of the hole. Looks like he still hasn't kicked the bucket. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but if he really had died, I would have had a whole lot of beast shite on my hands. Thankfully, the one who did this had the same idea, so they held back a bit. Let's get this fellow somewhere warm for now. Yep. Oh, shopkeep. Allow us to borrow your fireplace for a spell. Sure. Isn't this John? He should be up the mountain. How'd he get his ass kicked down here? Up the mountain? I've met him before. Yep. I met him up there. And then what? No, nothing. It'd be a pain to explain. What about you, Didishka? What are you doing? What are you going to do these next 2 days? Me? Haha. I'm just here to clap at the Kjeragandr statue unveiling ceremony tomorrow. As a Victorian delegate, after that, I guess I'll be heading back home straight away. If I manage to find one last opportunity before I go, I'd like to walk about and buy some souvenirs for the wife and kid back home. Sounds like you've got a lot of free time on your hands, Didushka. When you're young, you feel like you have 1,001 different things you need to get done. But when you get to around my age, you'll learn that some free time never did any harm. Ah, the dead rise. How's it hanging, John? Madame Lavina and the Lord Viscount. Good. I was just about to have a chat with my dearly departed grandfather. The hell happened to you anyways? It's a bit of a long story. Are you getting along with your father? Alright enough, I guess. Father, did I miss something? It's a bit of a long story. Seriously, what happened, John? You've managed to become chummier with Rosalind than me, right under my nose. Finally found you. Saintess. The Saintess. Praminix? Ah, no, you're here too. Perfect. Ah, Leto, you're here too. Perfect. Me, Lord Viscount, I hope you remember tonight's bonfire banquet by the lakeside. The one that will serve as a warm-up before tomorrow's ceremony. I had heard that you had been having your fill of scenic tours of Kjerag lately, and I feared that you had forgotten, which is why I decided to give you this little reminder. Of course I remember. Worry not, for I shall definitely be there. Will you be coming too, Leto? To the bonfire banquet? Sure, I'll come. And I believe this Trilby Asher is a friend of yours? Yes, quite. As a friend of the Lord Viscount, naturally you too are a guest of Kjerag. I hope that you will do me the honor of attending our humble banquet. Whatever reason could I have to refuse an invitation from the Saintess herself? Very well, it's settled then. Oh, she's adorable. I adore Kramnik. She's actually one of the first ones that I picked on my other account. Like when I first got some sort of like a selector ticket,
begins.
I remember getting that. And I don't really remember what the deal was, but you know what?
Stay safe, everyone.
We're gonna do that, and we're gonna do one of these. I don't know if this is gonna be good, but
Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
this is probably a bad idea.
Valiant struggle. But you won't get away.
Yep, this is probably a really bad idea. Oh god, we woke up 4 of them. Not good.
Crosswords.
Yep, not good. Not good at all. That was bad. I woke up 4 of them, and I should not have woken up that many.
Even a well-crafted gun will jam sometimes.
See,
Life is
this
no
is
different. So don't worry about it.
problematic to an extent because of the fact that there are so many here. Let's take a look here. Let's pause it.
Ikuza!
Okay, so if we ignite this one, you're getting that. If you ignite this one, you're getting these 2. If you ignite this one, you get that guy. So it's like the only 2 you could really ignite off the bat is this one and this one. Ooh, excuse me. So let's do this. And then let's do him here. No.
I already called dibs on the most
Let's go with
lucrative
her.
real estate in hell, and you guys all get
Yeah,
a
because
share.
see that's
Rest
gonna ignite
easy.
both of them. That's probably my best option, though.
You can go do something else.
It's doing nothing to her. Oh, now they decide to attack.
Safe here.
Ooh.
You want my opinion? Use your weapon.
Oh no, wow, okay, so she does some good damage with that, but I'm still not quite getting that.
Now I want to crush them.
I feel like maybe if I set up a healer in that area? Or maybe if I don't even bother with that one first, maybe if I do the one down here?
My job is to bring everyone home safely.
What if I do that? If I light that one, put Texas out here to start charging my DP.
Cover me.
We're gonna do this number so I can get everybody kind of packed in here. We're gonna take that and we're gonna do this now.
How soon do you want
We're
them
gonna put her out.
Strike them.
Ooh, this is not good. We've got that many opened up already.
Doctor, please come to your senses.
Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
Nope, that still didn't work out. Okay. This one's tough. This one's tough. You've got those guys we've got to be careful of. All right, let's do a practice run just because I don't want to waste. I know I'm getting my sanity refunded, but I've got these practice certs and I tend to forget to use them.
By storm.
Okay. So again, we don't want to get this one. If we awaken this one, we've at least only got one of them. I still think this is probably our best option.
Let's begin. I despise natural catastrophes and enemies equally.
I wonder if we do this.
Distract them. Got it. It's safe here.
Okay. All right, red's gone, but you know what? That's fine.
Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
Okay, let's have the wolf help.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
Ooh, no.
How soon do you want them gone?
This hunt has dragged on
Nope,
for
not a
too
good
long.
thing.
Please come to your senses.
Hurry up.
Still mulling things over, Dr. Perfectionist?
Nope, that's not gonna work. Yeah, she's... Darn it, okay. It's something, I've got to do that side. I've got to open up that side. That's probably our first bet, but the biggest issue is the burden beasts. And, like, I know that the easiest way to get them is immediately revived if its plate is in the emergency heater range. Yeah, we know that much. Whoops, I want to do the practice run. The easiest way to handle them is with a good caster, like Iafiola being out there. I kind of wonder if I shouldn't just put her up there. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
Your bestest job, or I'll be really bored.
Okay, so we've got that. We're gonna put
There we go.
her here. And we're gonna put Iafiola there.
Be careful. Draw swords.
Okay, so we've got Texas there now.
Follow me. Got it. Shut up. Please give your orders, Professor. Professor? Watch out for fires.
No way out for you.
Yeah, Red will get frozen, which is fine, but...
Hurry up.
Doctor, I can heal that wound in no time.
Alright, so we've got... Iafiola working on her.
Anything outside the plan? I'll judge for myself.
Okay,
And
so
what
we took care
purpose
of
do you
that.
think your sacrifice will serve?
We made some solid progress this much. Ugh.
How soon
Alright, so we're gonna put Degenbrecher out there.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
hit him with a warning shot.
Okay. Oh, they took care of them.
No way out for you. Rock and roll!
Still mulling thinks use your weapon to tell me who you are.
Doctor, please come to your senses.
Okay. Okay, we put Bubble out there to protect. Ooh, yeah, this guy. Crap. Well, at least threw one and he's done, but
Is it my turn? Reporting enemy weakness.
need to keep that on.
Strike them. Please give your orders. Watch out for fire.
All right, blow all these guys up. Ooh, we might lose him, which is gonna suck, but snap.
A valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
Conviction will throw you off pace.
Let's begin.
Okay, we got Texas. We're this far.
A valiant struggle,
Ooh, excuse me.
but you won't get away.
Please come to your senses. You can't stop me. Roger.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
I warned you.
Now we're stuck at a real bad problem.
From shadows.
Aw, man. We were doing really good
Please give your
there.
orders, Professor.
Still mulling emotion is meaningless
We
here.
were doing really good there until now. Suddenly there we lose. Okay.
Sorry. My blade. Not sharp enough.
All right. So I think we have a little bit of a strategy here. I just went through a bunch of practices, as you guys can tell. I tried somebody else's strategy. I tried a few things that did not work, no matter what. I just got a perfect victory on our S-7 by doing one thing a little bit different. I'm using a 3-caster balance, so to speak here. We're gonna give it a try. It worked in practice, just barely. 2 medic, 3 caster. Let's give it a try. This was butthole clenching. Oh my god. We gotta keep it slow for now. All right.
You just focus on giving
Blemish
orders.
Shine goes out here. All right, we'll speed it up a little bit till we get our operators deployed. Exu goes here.
Create a diversion.
Okay, so we put her out. We're gonna get Cicero out next. So then we'll have 2 medics out. Now granted, she's not doing anything yet, but we'll get there. Next is her. Next we gotta get Ayafiala.
戦に祈りを懺悔しなさい。
2021.
All the best.
Alright, Aya's gonna help, and we gotta keep that stored up if we can. Next is... we gotta get Texas out
準備完了。懺悔しなさい。
to help get our DP up, and then we gotta get Pookie out here. Click. And Amia. Okay.
Awaiting orders. Cut them to pieces. Solid position. 準備完了。懺悔しなさい。
Oh, almost lost her. That would not have been good. Click, get out there and help.
Professor,
Ayafiala, we're gonna hold out for now.
please give me orders, Professor.
screw it.
This may be a little
We're throwing
hot.
it.
Please come to your senses.
Once Texas gets enough DP saved up for us, I will be able to move forward with pulling her and putting Ami out. Now, we did lose Amiya a little bit later.
準備完了。私がついてる。
Heal.
よかったら声を上げてもいいよ。我慢しないで。
We put Amiya here. She's gonna help. Oop, where's my pointer? Let's get Click. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that. Click, don't worry about that. What are you doing? Now this is the pain. Alright. This is going a little bit smoother than the last one, except for split second clench there. The biggest issue is making sure Ifeala gets her stuff up here so that I can use that volcano thing in the end.
Doctor, I can heal that
She's
wound in no
alright.
time.
Alright, now we've got pretty much the last wave here. Click needs to stop worrying about that. We've got our bonus heal here just in case we need, which I'm actually going to use that now. We're going to use this. This will help us clear a little bit out. I put Degen here.
Want them gone.
We're almost at that point.
Professor, watch out for
Ifeala. Let her handle the rest, pretty much.
戦に祈りを。ドクターの言う通りに発射。
That's it. Much better, actually, than last time. Let's go. Ha ha ha. Wow. Much better than the practice round. The practice round, I actually lost like everybody around the corner, and I had to keep throwing people out there. Like I threw Texas out last minute. I had Bubble out. I had Red out just to stall for Ifeala to finish them. But that actually worked so much better. Actually, I think I ended up saving one of Susuro's abilities there for, because she can only use it twice in one battle. Having that helped big time. Okay, so back down here. All right, dialogue time. I gotta breathe. How long do you plan on sitting there? He already knows of this place. He will turn up sooner or later. And what will you do once he turns up? Kill him? Murdering a foreign dignitary is a serious crime, you know. We shall see. Why do you go so far for Kjerag's sake, when you're not from Kjerag yourself? Is it still considered for Kjerag's sake if it's Ensiotis' ambition? Who can deny that up till now, despite him having his own lofty goals, that there's a part of them that is for Kjerag's sake? That sort of praise is probably what he would least like to hear. You still haven't answered my question, you know. Make sure I didn't skip something there. When Ensiotis once mentioned to me that perhaps Kjeragandr truly existed, I thought to myself that maybe one day I could fight those so-called gods with my own two hands. And now I see that was simply wishful thinking. And why is that? Ensiotis had already dropped that particular plan for one. If he had stuck to it, do you think you could face down a goddess who might really exist? Perhaps? Here I could only find that sort of excitement during avalanches. If I ever had the opportunity, I would definitely give it a try. Do you think you will win? No. I have stood against the avalanche, but I've never once triumphed. I understand. You were simply in it for the challenge. And you consider the matters that are happening in this land to be suitable for that purpose. It's hardly as lofty as you think. This is just who I have grown to be, nothing more. Very well said. You may head back now, Degenbrecher. You will not find your battlefield here. If that is what the Saintess wills, then forgive me for being unable to comply. I will decide my own battlefield. And what if I said that is what Kjeragandr wills? I will then wonder, why are you the one conveying Kjeragandr's will? I am the Saintess's maid, after all. So what you are saying is that the will of the Saintess is the will of Kjeragandr. Rather, that Kjeragandr supports the great Saintess's opinion on the matter. At least that is my guess. There's the Troby Asher again. The Black Knight is no fool. Rather than searching all over for me, she will instead be watching over here. She knows that I will return, and return I must. If only I could return home alive. He fears his death at her hand. If I were him, I'd just stand in front of her and say, "Crush me, mommy." Just get it over with. If I had only guessed that this place would be the center of my worries. Now how could I have guessed? How could anyone have thought that Ensiotis had the brass courage to use an entire nation's faith as a pretense for his own schemes? He truly is someone that the Duke was wise to invest in. And that Saintess, is she really not aware of a single matter going on behind the scenes? Oh no, she knows. She's playing you like a fool because Praminix is brilliant. She's a smart snow leopard. And Degenbrecher, she couldn't possibly be quite so single-minded as to have missed the forest or the tree. What the hell? This is a rock? Why have you come, traveler from afar? I am but a man of steadfast faith, here to admire her visage. She tires and wishes to rest for today. Come back tomorrow. I had heard that Kjeragandr welcomes believers from afar. Do you mean to say that this is no longer the case? The pious need not prove themselves, while the insincere need not waste their words. You are not to take a step further today, says she. And if I insist? What? Buddy. You got vooped away. The Silverash looks all about him. The main path to Lake Silberneherze is bustling with activity most days, and today is no exception, which is why it causes no small amount of turned heads when he suddenly appears out of nowhere. Everybody look! Suddenly he smacked himself in the face hard. Hey, when did that guy pop up there? Look, he's slapping himself for some reason. Think he's some kind of lunatic? The Silverash takes no note of the people around him, simply turning his body in the direction of the statue of Kjeragandr. In imitation of those devout followers, he performs a quick gesture of prayer. Kjeragandr's blessings be upon you. This was the first time he had done such an act since stepping into this land. After doing so, he turns to leave without a moment's hesitation. He had not yet noticed that, from not too far away, there was a pair of eyes watching his every move. Degenbrecher isn't a very talkative woman, so she probably won't tell Enya about this, would she? I don't think I went too far either, did I? I've said this before, but staying a spectator is harder than it looks. She sighs once more, then turns, looking every bit like a woman grumbling about the troublesome requests of her younger sister, before bending into the throng of people like she was never there. It's kind of crazy knowing that their goddess or whatever that they, that she is, their symbol is actually walking among them as a disguised as the Saintess' maid. It's crazy, but stop right there. Ah, hello, Captain. Who are you? Well, it's like this, see? There's going to be a banquet held by Lake Silberneherze tonight, right? I'm here to deliver the wine. Wine? I had heard the news about that earlier. Come with me, I'll need to verify this. All right, sure. Stand over here, don't move. Pat him down. All right. Boys, I'm just trying to drop off some drinks. Do we really need to do this whole song and dance? These are special circumstances. I appreciate your cooperation. Excuse me. If you are really who you are, we will offer our deepest apologies later. I'm afraid that you two won't have the chance to do that. What? The vintner presses down on a device hanging at his waist, and the security cameras of the room began to rotate wildly as if possessed. It's Silverash. There's an edit. Nice try. After the two Shigata fall over, the vintner swiftly begins to operate the terminal. As he meddles with the terminal, the cameras in the corners of the room briefly halt before returning to their normal activity. From my earlier investigations, I knew that Kjerag managed to get a previous gen OS, but it's got two fatal flaws. I recommended you upgraded to the latest generation when you can. Naturally, if Kjerag were to become a part of Victoria, we would provide one free of charge. Vintner breathes a sigh of relief, but then immediately doubles over. Looks like my wounds are about to reopen. The destructive power of the Black Knight is no joke. I still can't get over the fact that they were on the statue. She just stood on the statue's boob and just front kicked him off of it. She could hardly be everywhere all at once. As for Kjeragandr, I'll worry about that later. At least she didn't prevent me finding this place. He stands up again, ambling towards the nearby barrel of wine. The barrel is heavy, but as he draws close, it is immediately obvious that there is a distinct lack of scent of the wine in the air. What was stored inside the barrel was not wine, but metal. I had investigated the amount of metal Kjerag was procuring, and at the time, nobody had any issue with the numbers. But if, say, the metal that was to be used in the construction of the statue was not all put toward that purpose, where then did all the remaining metal go? And where is this metal in the barrel slated to go next? I said that while the Black Knight's fearsome, she's not so strong as to cut through steel like butter, and I was right. He turns back to operate the terminal once more, and his fingers unceasingly type away at the keyboard. Various charts and diagrams continuously pop up on the screen above him. After a long, long while, he finally stands up. Anyways, there's still a few hours to go to the banquet. So allow me to give a quick inspection, Enciotis. Are you really so much a fool that you would dare stand against Victoria? So let me get this straight. You saw your father, then you gave him a kick. Yep, felt real good. I wasn't that angry to begin with, but once I saw what he looked like, I assumed my papa would look. Once I saw that he looked like what I assumed my papa would look like, I had the sudden urge to give him a real big kick. Haha, atta girl. Speaking of which, I had the pleasure of meeting Patriarch Arktos once when I had just arrived to Kjerag. But I haven't seen him since. If I had remembered how he had looked, you wouldn't have had to wander all around willy-nilly to find him. Hey, are you trying to say that I actually do look a lot like him? Well, now that I think about it more, thanks to that beard of his, even if I had been drinking with him yesterday, I don't think it would have been that easy to notice. I told him already, that bearded look just isn't in these days. What if he shaved it off? Eh? Oh, nothing. Don't mind me. Hey, look over there. That's a whole lot of burden beasts. Oh, the villagers from nearby are here too. I'm thinking this will be a mighty fine night. Eh? There's a burden beast bumping its head against you. Oh, if it isn't my lovely Lily. Haha, that girl ran over the moment she spotted you. Good girl, good girl. Hey, Dadushka, this is Lily you were talking about? Indeed, she was the first burden beast I met when I arrived in Kjerag, and she has become, dare I say, my dearest friend ever since I arrived. Oh, aren't you a little cutie pie? Oh, can I pet her? But of course, Lily's an affectionate girl. I think she likes you. Haha, Rosalind, it seems you really do have Kjerag blood in you. Whoa, she's licking me. Do you want to ride her? Can I? It should be all right, Leonis. Haha, it's all right, kid. All right, help me up a bit, Dadushka. Okay, grab onto my hand, and a 1, 2, 3. Excited rumbling. Wow, Lily's real steady. I think I'll go on a stroll with her. Go on ahead now. She sure is a lively little kid now, isn't she? You don't need to tell me. My daughter was the same age as her. Was the same at her age. Here, for you. This is some of our best cheese. Just finished ripening today. I remember that you were going back home pretty soon, so I whipped up this block just for you. I hoped I would see you tonight, so I brought it along just in case. I appreciate the gesture, but are you sure it's all right? Doesn't your family need this cheese to sell? Oh, think nothing of it. You help my family and our burden beasts plenty. I'd say that I owe you for medical expenses. So here, consider this cheese your veterinary fee. Haha. All right, if you insist. Couldn't ask for a better parting gift if you ask me. Truth be told, when you first showed up, we were pretty wary of you. But after a whole month with you, I feel like we're the best of friends. so I'm not going to get too mushy with you. Just remember that the next time you're in Kjerag, we'll always have a space at the table for you at my farm. I will. I really will. Ah, Leon, are you acquainted with the Lord Viscount as well? Ah, Saintus, yes. Harold here's become a right celebrity in our little village. I see. I hope that you and your burden beasts continue to enjoy yourselves. Oh, please. Getting to meet the Saintus is plenty of joy for me already. The banquet sure is festive, Holy Saintus. Indeed. Though there will be plenty of pomp and circumstance at the ceremony tomorrow, the populace at large will only be able to watch it via the news cameras. Which is why I arranged for this banquet, to allow all of Kjerag to enjoy the holiday cheer. You truly are a great Saintus. May I ask where the Trilby Asher might be? He's a bit of a somber fellow, not a great lover of festivities. I would hardly say that, my lord. While it's true that I am not a fan of festive crowds, that has hardly anything to do with my personality. You. I'm afraid I was observing Kjerag's magnificent scenery and lost track of time. Do forgive me, Holy Saintus. I'm glad to hear that you appreciate Kjerag's natural beauty. I hope that you enjoy tonight's banquet just as much. Indeed I will. She's setting this up. She's doing something. I'm curious. Ah, that's right. Harold, I have some wine here. Does your friend drink? Come, let's have a cup or two together. Trilby Asher surreptitiously shares a hand signal with Harold. It is a military hand signal, indicating withdrawal. Terribly sorry, Leonis. I'm afraid the drink will have to wait. High-pitched braying. I'm back, Didishka. Huh? Where'd he go? He got pulled away by his friend in black. No way. She still calls him John because he made up that fake name. That's funny. I do hope that you managed to enjoy yourself at tonight's banquet, my lord. I sure was, up until you called me away. Good, because I do not think you will enjoy this next step. Out with it. There's a secret underneath the Aragon statue at the heart of Lake Silberneherze. Soldiers really hate the word secret, Mr. John Smith. Isn't this your lot's job to figure out these sorts of things, rather than ours? Unfortunately, I have no way of solving this particular issue myself. Not words I expected to hear out of a Trilby Asher. I've run into a few obstructions. Wait, am I hearing you right? You failed. No. Though I am unable to ascertain what exactly is down there, the very fact that I am encountering this resistance is proof that I am on the right track. Trilby Asher takes out a stack of loose papers from the inner recesses of his coat. Within the stack are photographs of sorted documents and some handwritten notes. Harold takes a few to look at himself, and immediately the smile on his face freezes. Goods loaded onto the wine transport carriages. A true flow of the Oraran supply chain. Transport route itineraries. All this intelligence points towards a single fact. Under the island, at the heart of the lake, lies Ensiotis' secret. No, not just his, but the greatest secret of this entire nation. It's gonna happen now. The Victorian army is getting information. I wonder when this is, like as far as the story goes. Like when this takes place. She's gone. I know. Allowing the daughter of a Kjerag politician to hear that was not good. I'm a soldier. I only care about real battles. This is something that you intelligence agents should be handling. She barely even knows whose daughter she is. What can she possibly do? This makes her recognize what is brewing in this nation and make her cut her visit early. This is not necessarily a bad thing. She is, in the end, merely a citizen of Ursus. I am not one to make an enemy of that empire. Perhaps I misjudged you during our earlier meetups, my good Trilby Asher. You and me both, my lord. Perhaps it is a good thing that people like you and I are wary of one another. Some real words of wisdom you've got there. My next words might not be those words of wisdom you so adore. You cannot go home empty-handed, my lord. I know. I hope you truly understand that this is the price Ensiotis must pay her grace. He has crossed a line. Is that what you tell yourself to make it feel better? You're far better at that sort of thing than I am. Oh, great hero. Interesting. The banquet continues. People are gathered around the bonfire singing merry tunes and dancing, welcoming the arrival of tomorrow. In their minds, tomorrow will certainly be a bright, jubilant, festive day, one that would compel anyone to break out into ecstatic dance and vibrant song. I'm probably the only one in the room who doesn't feel that way, thought Harold. He suddenly feels a little chilly. The last time he felt such a chill was the very first time he set foot in this land. He felt like what he really needed was a bottle of wine, perhaps a whole barrel. Harold, I've been waiting ages for you. If you were any later, I would have finished off the entire bottle myself. Look at me. I look like the sort of person to miss out on a fine drink. Come, tonight we will drink till we drop. Something major's about to happen. He's forgotten some of the finer details of what he did that night. Perhaps he danced a merry jig from his hometown by the bonfire, or perhaps he grabbed some unlucky fellow to sing some folk songs of Kjerag with. Ah, that's right. He seemed to have spent a good amount of time discussing finer points of Kjerag veterinary techniques with a guardrail. How did he get to this point? Alas, nobody knows. At the very least, he remembered the way back to his bed. However, the distance between the banquet and the barracks is no short stroll. First, he had to follow along the lakeside path until it joined with the main street at the center of town. Along the road, he would run into many elderly folk taking a post-meal walk and see children playing atop the ice. From here, he could see the distant statue of Kjeragandr. And all along the road, there were viewing stations set up just for gazing upon it. They were bustling places filled with people at all times. Some prayed towards Kjeragandr, while others took selfies. There are times when two diametrically opposed ways of life will clash, but most times they will coexist in some sort of harmony. Such was the way of many things in this land. Continuing on, he passed through the main street, which got busier by the day. He distinctly remembered noticing that some of the stores that were there when he first arrived in Kjerag had changed ownership. In a small alley close to the center of the road, there was the latest restaurant that he had fallen in love with. This restaurant had managed to meld together the flavors of Victoria and Kjerag together into their dishes. And suffice it to say that he was a big fan. The restaurant was run by a young couple, the wife a Kjerag native who had learnt the culinary arts in Victoria, meeting her spouse in the process. The two of them started a family, returning to Kjerag to set up their restaurant, hoping that they would be able to have a better life in this flourishing land. After the alley, he had to cross a highway still under construction, then a patch of woods, before arriving at the hillside where he could look out over the whole land, where a roaring fireplace awaited him. At the moment when he stepped over the edge of the road onto the soft soil, he became quite aware of just how much further this nation had to go to be considered well-developed. Walking through the tranquil woods immediately put a stop to that line of thinking. Though he often jabbers away with other old men whenever they meet, lately he finds himself thinking back to the time of his youth. The golden wheat fields rustling in the evening breeze, his younger self running about within as though he were without a care in the world. Yes, without a single care in the world. As he walked across the icy ground, as he found himself cloaked in snowy silence, one thought came to the forefront of his mind. He was no longer young. Ew, you reek of booze. Boss, if you're going out to get roaring drunk, can't you at least bring some back for your boys? Boss, look here. These damn Burn Beast blind boxes, we've gotten 3 full sets now except for the mystery variant. This has gotta be some kind of scam by Carlin Trade. He doesn't say anything. He pulls out a remote control from the deepest recesses of his room, constantly flicking through various slides on a projector. Every single one has information regarding Kjerag, possible marching routes, the locations of military bases, the distribution of sentry posts, investigations into the Shikata. Within a week of him arriving in Kjerag, all this intelligence was already neatly organized before him, and yet again and again he forced himself to stop thinking about these matters, to the point that he has managed to memorize most of it. He throws aside the remote control and grabs a collapsible chair at hand, throwing himself deep into its embrace as he closes his eyes. Rather than looking at maps and military sand tables, he much prefers listening to the subtle sounds of snow falling on the branches, making them rustle and creak under its weight. It reminds him of the sound of waves of wheat, rustling under the moonlit breeze. Boss? What's the matter? Don't mind him, he's probably just drunk off his gourd. Let's get back to what we were talking about just now. I heard that the Litanians want to build a new city, mostly to get foreign trade going. Check out these preferential policies. Calculated returns for investments are unreal. But reality never goes the way he wishes it to, just like how his father always yelled at him to get out of the wheat field and to continue his training at home. Just like when his pipe stem loses a piece without him knowing. Just like how his lost leg would never return. He lost a leg? Wow, that's interesting. The hubbub of the barracks fades away as his men all look towards him. His men, his lads, his soldiers. Everyone, change to live ammunition, then be on standby. At the break of dawn tomorrow, we begin our operation. Our target is the statue of Kjeragandr. His voice is somewhat hoarse. The rustling of wheat in the wind has stopped. Whoa! They're gonna go after the statue! Oh, man. Oh. Let's collect this stuff. One final stage. And this one is a doozy. Let's stick with this team. Multiple medics and stuff. Let's see where it goes. Let's see what we can do. They say that Lake Silberneherze is most beautiful during winter. Winter seals the lake in a case of ice, and from afar, looks for all the world like a great gemstone, revealing a most breathtaking beauty in the brilliant sunlight. But if you were to observe from up close, perhaps you would be able to appreciate its beauty even further. There is no gem so flawless, yet so adamant beneath the ice, that its waters yet flow. Since when did you decide to take up poetry? According to the directives of the Vinebear Court, we will follow behind the Saintess, walking from the ice to below the feet of the statue of Kjeragandr. This is hardly what I would call short stroll, and all sorts of mishaps can befall us while we walk. Genosis, are you worried that the ice beneath your feet might shatter? How very unlike you. You know that's not what I'm talking about. Many of the guests of ours who are here to attend will be watching us with keen eyes. Your plans for defensive maneuvers still lack accurate information, Ensiotis. We are not in what I would call a favorable position. Allowing that Trilby Asher to approach the statue of Kjeragandr yesterday was my mistake. If we have need of it, I can go and settle things with him right now. If our quarry has already sensed aught amiss, then acting now would already be too late. This terrible habit of yours neglecting the bigger picture when you take action. Forget it. You and Ensiotis are pretty much the same. I'm not asking either of you to change your ways. All I ask is that next time, please go to the trouble of restraining yourselves, just for a little bit. You'll save me from having to rack my brain to find ways to clean up your messes. Duly noted, Genosis. What do you think, Ensiotis? I have not the strength to casually cut apart a giant statue tens of meters high. Indeed. Merely invited that doctor over, who then proceeded to nearly ruin our plans is all. The doctor from... Is he referring to Doctor from Rhodes Island, or Harold? Being that he's a vet, probably Doctor just based off of the way they're talking. That's probably referring to the previous event that they all popped up in. I have no desire to listen to the two of you jibe and snipe at each other with your nonsense. How about the Shigata responsible for keeping order? They will be posted to the island ahead of time. As for who's in charge of the reception for the Victorians, there are several merchants who will take care of the matter. Genosis, you are far too tense. We've already completed all the preparations we can do. All we can do now is wait. And wait we shall. Spring is just around the corner. I still remember when Saintis descended from atop Mount Carlin 3 years ago. That day, Kjeragandr sent us her blessings, and even that Ensiotis couldn't help but kneel. I do not know if we will ever see such miracles again these days. Seems like seeing the sights of today has hooked up your old memories, my friend. But Arktosh, don't you think you've been wallowing in those memories too often these past few years? Rather than putting up your efforts into sarcasm, Radatos, you should care more about today's ceremony. I felt that something was off ever since I woke up this morning. Don't you think Kjeragandr's statue looks a little bit different compared to yesterday? You Browntails were in charge of managing construction, so you'd better think up a real good explanation for the Saintis. No need to worry about that. Hey, Arktosh, why does your face look like that? Did that Trilby Asher rough you up or something? Well, it's like you said, no need to worry about that. The girl's real feisty, just like Tatiana. Just like me. Not bad. He's proud of his daughter, despite her kicking him down the damn hill. The mountain. Patriarch, Matriarch, everyone is present. Good. Let the people below know that they can head to their designated positions and wait for now. The Saintis will arrive soon. If anyone dares to tarnish the Browntail name at this critical moment, I won't be showing any mercy. Understood, Matriarch. Wait a moment. Yucatan? Why is it just you? Where's your wife? It's almost time already. Why is she not here? Bruce told me this morning she had a few things to do. She wants to prepare a pleasant surprise for you, Matriarch. I'm not sure if I should look forward to a pleasant surprise from her. Pleasant surprise. What could possibly be more important than today's ceremony? Can't she pick a better time to give me a headache? I'll send her a message right away. Don't worry, Matriarch. Russ is very clear on what she should be prioritizing. I should have figured that you'd be on your wife's side. All right. She's no longer a girl. Guess I'll just have to wait and see what this pleasant surprise of hers is. Anyway, if she's off doing other things, why didn't she bring you along? Ruth already has someone helping her out. Everyone, the time has come. The Saintis arrives. Please, lend me your ears. It has been 3 years since the Vinebear Court has recognized those foreigners who wish to devote themselves to Kjeragandr. Kjerag today is capable of incredible growth and development, but that growth rests on the shoulders of good folk here today, alongside the toil and devotion of all Kjerag's people. I believe that you all have seen the change that has come to Kjerag these past few years with your own eyes. Kjeragandr has given her people, her children, a challenge, and we have already given her our answer. Yet these past 3 years are merely the beginning. In the coming days, we will meet with more complex situations than ever before, and Kjerag will see its fair share of trials and tribulations. However, I hope that we all believe that Kjeragandr will not abandon this land of Kjerag, and neither will she abandon the lives of those who live upon it, for she so loves her people. This great statue of Kjeragandr will be the main symbol of Kjerag to the outside world. At the same time, it will become a vessel for all the love that her faithful show her. Hereafter, one need not climb Mount Carlin to make one's devotions to her. You need but face towards her during your prayers. It is my wish that the faith you have in her is not constrained by the trappings of ceremony. I believe that true faith has taken root in the hearts of all of Kjerag's people. Now I ask you to walk with me under the gaze of Kjeragandr towards the foot of her holy statue, where we will pray for her to bestow her blessings upon Kjerag. By Kjeragandr, by Kjeragandr, by Kjeragandr. The many voices by the lake that cry out Kjeragandr's name blend and merge together. The Saintis stands at the head of the crowd and takes the first step onto the ice. Frozen Lake Silberneherze shines like a flawless gem when looked upon from afar. But only once you stand atop it will you see that this gem is covered in chips and cracks. The ice is covered in cracks wending and weaving across the surface, the endlessly churning waters beneath the ice surging about together. Under the dawnlight, it is as if the soul of the lake itself was wandering about in an eternal cycle. In the eyes of the people of Kjerag, such a sight was so beautiful as to be breathtaking. Kjeragandr's Saintis steps across the cracks that seemed like they were carved by the biting winds, as if walking past a millennium's worth of Kjerag's bitterly cold hardships, as if walking past its endless winter days, because now spring was just around the corner. hell are they not here yet? Are you kidding me? The communicator doesn't work. Didn't they say they'd be getting to Kjerag last night? So they definitely catch the train today. Calm down, Cirrus. Calm down. Phew. Okay, I've calmed down. Saintess needs to walk across the ice to the island, so the ceremony won't be starting quite so soon. I've still got time. Think about the look on Rhodes' face when this is all over. Ahem. I've definitely got the time right, and punctuality is par for the course on that side. A little lateness is one thing. We won't be too late now, I'm sure. I think the train to Lake Silberneherze should be pulling into the station right around now. Alright, let me see. The next train is arriving at... Why is it so late? Madam Cirrus, the train is a local that stops at every station. It's natural that it's somewhat delayed. I don't care if it's natural. I need the train here right now. Damn it all, I can't just sit here and wait. Get me in touch with the station master. I want that train sped up right away. If it doesn't need to stop, then it better not stop. Make sure it's going at full speed, too. But madam, if we do that, it would greatly inconvenience the passengers aboard the train. As long as they end up where they'd wanted to go, it should be fine, right? Well, yes, but no buts. Munch! Here, madam. Get in touch with the manager of Bang Bang Burden Beast for me. Get them to round up every single one of the free burden beasts right now. Anyone waiting to get on the train at the stations that it passes, get them a burden beast to take them wherever they want. Yes, madam. Madam Cirrus, is this really all right? You got a problem with it? Right. Thanks for reminding me. We'll need to prepare a small gift for everyone already aboard the train. We'll call it a token of apology for disrupting their journey. Use the souvenirs that you sell on the trains for that. All expenses can go to Clan Browntail. No, wait. Put it all on my personal account. Understood. It shall be done. I hope that's enough. No, it's definitely enough. For sure. Oh, here they come. Faster! Don't forget what we're here to do. In the back, keep pace! Yes, sir! Halt! Gather up! Form up! Sir, reporting in. Second squad, in formation, sir. Very good, then. And third squad? Sir, reporting in. Third squad information, sir. Very good. Jack, have your squad bring up the rear. I want constant vigilance. Don't overlook a single enemy. Yes, sir! Good. Keep those spirits up. All squads, forward march. Yes, sir! They're coming. How is this gonna resolve? What are those Victorians up to now? Are they holding weapons? Surely not. Aren't they here to attend the ceremony or something? Have you ever seen them line up in formation like that before? It must be all for show. But I've gotta say, I don't think they got the same look to them as they did before. But Kjeragandr, protect us from harm. There they are. Reporting in, sir. We finished scouting ahead. The Saintess has already started leading everyone over to the island. Our men all prepared. Yes, sir. All troops in formation, ready to commence operations at any time. Good. Keep them lined up and await my orders. Lake Silberneherze on a winter's day. Truly one of Kjerag's most beautiful sights. Who would have thought that the next time I clapped eyes on this wonder would be under circumstances like this? You've become much gloomier these days, Harold. Have I? You know, as they say, soft days make soft men. Lisburn, after a whole month of R&R, you're still able to swing your sword around? That's much heavier than I remember. How about you, Charles? It's a battlefield. We're Victorian soldiers. Not much else I can do. All right. In the decades since I joined the army, never have I met finer soldiers than you all. Am I right, Charles? I think I'm gonna puke. But what else can I do? Give the order already, Harold. Forgive me, my friends. All right, orders incoming. Everyone, forward march! Under the guise of building a statue of their goddess, the Kjerags have been secretly transporting military goods under our noses. We will let them know the price for trying to make a fool of Victoria. Mission objective, destroy the statue of Kjeragandr atop the island. Yes, sir. What? The train won't be making further stops. Are you certain of this? Okay, understood. What's going on? Why didn't we stop at that station just now? I am truly incredibly sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, our train has run into a small operational issue. Till we arrive at the station at Lake Silberneherze, the train will be increasing in speed and will not be stopping at intervening stations. Not stopping? This is unacceptable. I meant to get off for sightseeing at the next station. Me too. I was going to go and visit the local markets. Why ever can't you stop the train anyway? We offer our deepest apologies for this inconvenience to everyone. As compensation, we have prepared all of our passengers a gift as a token of our apology. All passengers may freely pick a souvenir of your choice from our store aboard this train. Whether it's specialty cheeses or a Bird and Beast blind box, it's all free of charge. Oh. Well, if there's compensation, I suppose it's all right. Ah, that's right. I ask all passengers to note that there's a limited amount of gift-wrapped mountain ice water. So if you would like some, please come as soon as possible. All right. No need to go on any more than that. Okay, sure. Speed up the train. No stopping at the stations. Whatever. Just give me one of those super expensive limited edition waters already. Hey, no cutting in line. Give me a water too. Things sure are lively today. What could possibly be so urgent to rush this train to Lake Silberneherze? Is it to deliver some mystery goods, or perhaps people? Either way, I believe I win this hand. What's got Cirrus? What's got the Browntail clans doing stuff? The trains here have all been handled, madam. As per your orders, the premier train next arriving at Lake Silberneherze is now running at top speed. But are you sure that the guests you invited are aboard that train? Of course I'm sure. It's just that if we happen to be wrong... No way! They're definitely on that train. Monch, I must ask, do you know how many new relay stations we built to ensure a smooth signal across all of Kjerag these past 3 years? I'm afraid I'm not quite sure. Well, you've just returned to Kjerag, so I suppose it's natural for you to not know. So listen up and remember this. In Browntail territory alone, we built 5 of those top-of-the-line relay stations to ensure that the signal never breaks. That many? Yep. We also called in some professionals courtesy of that doctor from Rhodes Island to help out, just to make sure that even amongst our many mountains, our communications will never be blocked. So what I'm trying to say is that, theoretically, as long as it's within Kjerag's borders, there shouldn't be any sort of communications mishap. Aside from some special places. Special places? Can't figure it out. Could it possibly be the private rooms on the train, madam? Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Bullseye. It's the private rooms on the train. More specifically, the private rooms on the premier train from the foot of Mount Carlin to Lake Silberneherze. The train was a special order from Victoria. As for the other trains that we have, they used that train as a prototype to copy. I mean, to study how to manufacture our own. The walls of the private rooms of that original train are inlaid with materials designed to isolate the occupants from disturbances from outside, so naturally, they will cut off communication signals too. The other trains don't have this feature because it would have drastically inflated construction costs. I get it now. So what you're saying is, in determining if our guests are in Kjerag already, the very fact that your communicator can't reach them tells us that they must be in that specific train's private rooms. That's amazing, madam. I'm learning so much about the trains as well. Anyways, Kjerag as it is now and Kjerag as of a few years ago couldn't be more different. I'm not going to ask where you've been these past few years, Monch, and I don't intend to pry into what you've been up to. Then. I don't really care about why you didn't go back to that Genosis either. But if you really want to be my assistant, then you'd better get used to that modern-day Kjerag already. And you better not think that I'm the same old Rus from 3 years ago. You hear me? Yes, madam. I'll do my best. Glad to hear it. Why is there so many people outside? Hey, wait, aren't they? she sees the soldiers. This is getting really dicey. Get back! I said get back! All of you, not a step closer! What the hell do you think you're doing? How dare you try and pull this stunt under Kjeragandr's gaze? Don't even think about trying to ruin today's ceremony. Jack? That's you, isn't it, Jack? What are you playing at? You just had a bit too much to drink, right? Word of advice from me, today's not the time to be make a ruckus. Go tell the others quick, Jack. Enough! I am under orders to shoot dead the next person who steps forward. You know, back when you first showed up, people said that a bunch of foreign soldiers showing up in Kjerag couldn't be up to any good. I didn't believe them. I even spoke up for you guys. It seems that I was blind this entire time. So this was your real purpose. To ruin our ceremony for Kjeragandr. To strike us down. Kjeragandr will not forgive you for this. You invite her wrath upon yourselves. Ha! Let her try. We were punished enough as it is a long time ago. Those are Victorian soldiers. Something's not right. They have their uniforms on and they've got their weapons out too. Looks like there's been some sort of commotion outside. Please, hide yourself, madam. Black-haired girl is about to subconsciously hold out her arm to protect her employer, but before the words can even leave her mouth, Cirrus proves to be a step ahead, covering her mouth with her own hand and pulling her into a corner. Shh! Don't say a word, Monch. We need to stay hidden. Those Victorians, didn't they say they were just here to attend the ceremony? I guess they've finally shown their true colors. This operation of theirs seems pretty big. That bitch Rhodes wouldn't know about this trouble yet, would she? Madam, they have the whole squad of Shigata stationed there, alongside Degenbrecher from Carlin Trade. If trouble reaches them, it probably won't last very long. Yeah, you're probably right. And with Yucatan there, my sister will be safe. Madam, allow me to escort you somewhere safe. I'll go assist Sir Yucatan next. No, I have to stay here to watch them. If things get even more heated here, at least I can stop them for a bit. Look, don't worry. Nothing's going to happen to me. Even if I did get found, considering that I'm an envoy between Kjerag and Victoria for multiple cooperative business ventures, I doubt they'll have the stones to mess with me. Madam, don't look at me like that. I already told you I'm not the same as I was 3 years ago. Okay, listen up, Monch. I've got something I need you to do. Yes, madam. You need only say the word. That Ensiotis definitely has some sort of contingency plan up his sleeve for those Victorians, considering how big this commotion's grown. I can only suspect that something's gone wrong with the deployment of his men. Monch, I need you to investigate things for me. Go check up on what's happening over there, and if you get the chance, making the Silverashes owe the Browntails a favor would be pretty nice. Understood. I'll get it done. What? Something on my face? Madam, you really have grown. Who asked you? You're a lot younger than me, you know. Stop acting like you're the big sister. Really, you should be treating me like the big sister. Can I really call you sister? We'll discuss this later. All right, get moving already. Yes, madam. So is Monch actually part of the Browntail family? Curious. From time to time, Degenbrecher thinks back to 10 years ago. Back then, every winter, she would accompany Ensiotis all across Kjerag. That young man who had just returned to his home country has not yet the deeply experienced person he was now. Still quite underripe. He had to do many things himself, rushing about to and fro. One could say that he was hot-blooded, or one can say that he had ambition. Degenbrecher remembered that in the winter of that year, Ensiotis brought all his plans and stratagems that he had devised in Victoria back to Kjerag, where he single-handedly founded Carlin Trade. Of the few people who would be called his confidants, she would have just barely been within their number, and thus she found herself staying in this cold, snowy land. If you were to ask her, while she has long gotten used to the bitter chill, she does not actually like the cold weather very much. Casimir's winters were cold indeed. Those days, she would make her way through many matches of the majors in winter. This made the KGCC very unhappy, but whether or not her opponent was happy was never in her mind. Going back even further, Litanian's winters too were cold. Was Kjerag's winter not colder than Casimir's or Litanian's? Degenbrecher stamped her foot upon the ice's surface. frost crystals breaking loose under her step. Thinking back to old times, I remember that year when we had just arrived back in Kjerag from Victoria. We had crossed Lake Silberneherze as well. Back then, it was because all the roads had been snowed out. With no railroads or mechanized shovels or vehicles specially designed to handle the snow, we were barely able to maintain a handful of flat main streets. Under such heavy snowfalls, and with Carlin trade only barely having started up, goods piled up behind the snowbanks blocking the road, and the trade routes stagnated. We were on the brink of coming to a complete stop. In the end, it was you who helped Leonis gather up his burden beasts, and by using them to carry those goods across Lake Silberneherze, we were able to alleviate that particular crisis. You talk too much, Ensiotis. I assume that you would have shown more solemnity in light of the ceremony. I'll take it as an opportunity to babble about old happenings. My apologies. Some things are simply too unexpected in the moment, so it is hard not to constantly bring them back to the forefront of one's mind, especially during interesting times such as these. Who would have expected the great Black Knight to be so proficient at riding a burden beast? Ensiotis. What? If you are curious as to why I know how to ride a burden beast, then you need only ask. I learnt it when I was young. In Lytanian. There is ever the opportunity I could bring the both of you to do some sightseeing. It's not a very exciting place, so don't expect much. How is it compared to Kjerag? It's not as good. Kjerag is nowhere near as cold. This is the first time I've ever heard you give such an idealistic assessment. That's enough out of you. Alright, we've arrived. Everyone, please come forward. With Kjeragandr as our witness, the ceremony shall soon begin. Let us pray. It appears that some of our more excitable guests can't wait for their cue. Just who is causing that clamor there? Gah, I didn't need this pain in my ass right now. Yucatan, why the hell isn't your wife here yet? I just got in contact with her and she says she's nearly here. What do you mean, nearly here? Listen, you get back in touch with her right now. Tell her to go to the moons or something. As far away as possible, just don't come over. What is going on over here? What's all this commotion about? Sir, those Victorians don't look as friendly as they usually do. I saw that they've got some pretty big weapons of some kind, and they looked real enough to me. I knew that they were gonna stab us in the back. Let them come. It's a good thing I told the Pelaric boys to prepare for this. We meet them in battle. Hold, Sir Arktosh! But Saintus! Sir Ensiotis! The Victorian troops have broken through our guards who were maintaining order. They draw near. Send out several squads and prioritize the safety of any commoners about. Yes, Saintus. They have made their move. It appears they have several squads of their own lined up to approach us. And at their head is that Viscount. What's the plan? Where are Weiss and Matterhorn? We haven't received any news from them since last night. They should have been watching the movements of the Victorian army very closely, and an operation of this size would have prompted a report by now, unless they had no way of sending a report. Beware Victorians, even as they bear gifts. Despite my belief that I had managed to establish a strong enough relationship with Viscount Kragavon, it appears that we have not been able to move his heart from its course. This is no time to stand around licking your wounds, Ensiotis. They're already far past the point of pretending to be friendly with us. They are professional Victorian troops, whether using drone arrays to bombard us or hiding their casters in the crowd. Their ruthless efficacy is clear. This is still what they consider pressure. They have not begun to use force just yet. And I assume you have some sort of plan for this. We cannot allow them to disrupt the ceremony. Not only will the Vinebear Court and the three clans suffer a drastic blow to their reputations, they will lose the trust of the people of Kjerag alongside the respect of those outside its borders. We would be caught in truly dire straits. Not exactly the easiest task. Indeed. You sound concerned, Ensiotis. We must not allow a true war with Victoria to begin. We need only wait until the next distinguished guest arrives. But at the very least, we cannot allow them to get any closer to the statue of Kjeragandr. But they're pretty much here already. I'll go stop them. Now's not a good time for jokes. They've got at least 2,000 troops out there. How exactly are you going to fight them alone? It will be easier than me having to handle you after a night out, Genosis. Like I said, this really isn't a good time to joke around. Who do you think out of the many people that he knows Enceotis always calls first? You're going to get yourself killed. If you don't want me to be killed, then you should put in some more work, Genosis. Degenbrecher, I'm sure you're already aware of the risks at hand. I need you to hold them back, at least until we've settled our arrangements here. At this time, Carlin Trade, no. Kjerag cannot assist you in the slightest. This is to be the sole work of the Black Knight. Are you able to do it? Heh, this wouldn't be the first time. You all wait here. She's going off to face them alone. Oh man. It's not good to hold your anger in, Genosis. The two of you have talked it over already. I'm not one to make a fuss. At least while Degenbrecher holds back those Victorians, I can send out men to find Weiss and Matterhorn, as well as our distinguished guests. If they arrive a bit sooner than expected, things might just start looking up for us. I'll leave that to you then. News of what is happening here will spread fast. I should be bracing myself right about now so that I can deal with these beasts who saw fit to bare their fangs. Hark, they come. They're coming across the ice. Halt! Everyone gather up! Get back into formation! Yes, sir! This fog's mighty thick. Strange. Have the Shigata not made their move yet? Or are they just watching from all around the sides? Sure, our operation might have caught them with their pants down, but surely they're going to put up some resistance, right? Don't be so quick to dismiss them. The head of the Silverash clan's one wily fellow. Kjerag can afford to go to war with Victoria, but us? We can pretty much take a crap atop the holiest of holies. It's a real funny thing, diplomacy. The way things are now, I don't think they've got any room to play defense at the moment. Well, you won't know until you give them a poke. Let some other men advance for now. If the Saintus and Clan Silverash still don't react, then we continue with our original plan and prepare to bombard the statue of Kjeragandr. Understood. Wait, looks like there's movement on their side. No, that can't be. They've only got one person over there. It's her, the Black Knight. Of course. It could only be her. Although I had guessed that this sort of thing might happen. Seeing the real deal with your own eyes, it's enough to make a man's heart drum with excitement. A lone woman holding back 1,000 soldiers. Wow. This really is right out of one of those night novels. You're joking. There's no one person who's got the strength to resist a whole army. The Zayadans. The Zayadans can't. The Silverlands Pagazzi can't. Not even one of the Devil's royal courts could. We've seen this sort of thing before ourselves, Herald. I know. Of course I do. You might kill us, but you won't kill any more. But do we really have to pay this price to get what we want? Our army is a machine consuming an unending amount of fresh meat just so that it can lurch forward once more. Right now, there's just us old boys left. We can't bear the cost of it much longer. You know me, Lisburn. I've always been a bit of a miser, and a miser's heart weeps at every coin lost. As long as they keep bubbling up to the top of my mind, I can hardly sleep soundly at night. We're soldiers. We've got no choice. You're right. It's all for Victoria. Send the order down. All men, prepare for war. I'll take the lead, and I'll bring along my top brass to meet the legendary Black Knight face to face. Yes, sir. Hey, Herald. I'm not going to stop you now, but I've got to ask. How's it feeling having to face down the Black Knight that you like so much in the ring? Not great. Reminds me of one time during my youth when I was getting teased at one of the Duke's parties. I ended up drinking entire cups worth of straight shots at once. A lot of bitterness, a lot of burning, and a lot of retching. Enough to make you faint. But I will say that I also feel a bit of excitement. Harold Cragavon looked towards Kjerag's endless snowscape. All about him, frost blanketed the icy surface of Lake Silberneherze. Mist gathered in the air, and in the distance, the statue of Kjeragandr loomed, her face fuzzy and indistinct. The chill extending all about her feet made people feel as though they had truly entered the realm of a snow god. frozen surface of the lake looked as though it was a great shard of rock sugar covered in icing. In this unreal, dreamlike environment, these men wearing their valor on their sleeves stood out like a sore thumb, and across from them, a vague silhouette appeared within the dense fog that laid thick in the air. Their adversaries walked forward, step by step, treading atop the ice and snow towards them. It felt like with every step, she commanded the strength to stop 1,000 men in their tracks. This is as far as you go, and you will go no further. If you wish to watch the ceremony, you may watch from here alongside me. I would truly be honored to have you accompany me, Madame Degenbrecher, but by all rights, I should accept your kind offer. But, as a most trusted partner, Her Grace is very concerned about Kjerag's development issues, and has given me orders to approach the base of Kjeragandr so as to show our good faith. Concern armed to the teeth and carrying cannons is a very rare sight indeed. Force of circumstance, I do hope you understand. Lately there's been a most unlawful force at play, wantonly moving prohibited materials about Kjerag under the guise of constructing the statue of Kjeragandr. According to our intelligence, the stronghold of this force happens to be exactly under this holy statue of yours, and so, Her Grace was so concerned about this issue that she commissioned me and my men overnight to investigate. A likely story. It is, in the end, Her Grace's intent. Who would you say if there truly is a dangerous power underneath the feet of Kjeragandr's statue? But if the great Saintess and Sir Anciotus were to meet with unfortunate accidents, it would be far too late for regrets by then. Nobody would like to see something like that happen, am I right, Madame Degenbrecher? I don't really care what you say, and naturally, what we do here is none of your business. The people of Kjerag will handle their own issues. We don't need outsiders to order us about. I'm afraid that's that then. I'm truly sorry it came to this, but this is where I must carry out my duty. Also, please excuse my curiosity, Madame Degenbrecher, but considering you managed to hold your tongue so well while I jabbered on, you don't plan on causing delay for us, do you? You talk far too much. Well, when you're at my age, it's hard not to be a bit of a windbag. But as for you, Madame Degenbrecher, as far as I've now learnt, you're not the sort of person to indulge in mindless chatter. Oh, what a picture! Wow. I'm saving that one real quick. That is just insane. It's beautiful. Wow. That is awesome. Save as. Degenbrecher. Saved. That's why I hate overly chatty smartasses. Woman says no more, slowly unsheathing her long sword breaker from about her waist. The scraping of the metal lets out an ear-piercing shriek, ending with the sound of it burying its point into the ice, a sound that induces a trembling in the men that none are able to stymie. Since they got the intended message, there is not much more need for words. This manner is more to my tastes. I'll say it again. You will go no further. None may enter. Oh, man. I don't know if I could beat this here. This is going to be tough, but we're going to try. I may need to look up a guide.
Operation commencing. Draw swords.
I believe what I'm going to need to do is I snap this, and I need to put a healer in. Okay, so I put a medic here.
Awaiting orders. Got it.
Alright. Whoop. Stop. I need Exu right there.
Follow me!
try that. I don't know if that'll do, but...
Distract them.
Use her there.
Stay safe, everyone.
Okay, so... We need a healing medic right... or healing defender right there.
Shut up.
Okay, so we snap that, and then we put another medic here, and then, well, that's not good. But now I got these two to deal with, and Texas is in bad shape.
No way out for you.
Yep, they're just gonna walk right by, they don't care. Alright, well, that screwed us.
I'm fine.
Alright,
Get it together, everyone.
we're gonna have to practice this a couple of times. I'm kind of trying to remember how I did it on my other account. And I did like a little bit of repositioning of like, I had a good start, but I would get to the end kind of like in the last one and screw myself.
Good.
So
I suppose you've already got a plan.
Draw swords.
yeah, I kind of screwed myself a lot. So that wasn't a good thing.
Let me create a diversion. Awaiting orders. Cut them to pieces.
How about I do
There we go.
this?
Apple pie.
Do one of those numbers. All right, we're gonna do the same thing with red over there.
From shadows.
She'll take the brunt of it, which is fine. But now we need to snap that.
We're fighting you guys. Then please do your bestest job, or I'll be really bored.
Healing.
Don't be afraid. Heal that wound in no time.
16.
医者ならここに。ここだよ。
戦に祈りを。準備完了。心配しないで。
Turn that back on. I need to get a caster out somewhere here.
Got it.
Mainly need to just focus on these.
戦に祈りを。心配しないで。
All the best. 私ならここに。
Yeah, she's in bad shape there. I can't put anybody else out. Turn that back on.
戦場は差し掛かったら声を上げてもいいよ。我慢しないで。
Yeah, this is not working out well.
Alright.
準備完了。光ある。
Yeah, nope. This is not working out well.
Don't be afraid. Please, come
Keep them healed. He's targeting that again.
準備完了。心配しないで。
Yep. No, we're losing Texas. That's nope. Okay. The biggest problem is getting him down. Putting him into phase 2. Putting him into phase 2, and then when he's in phase 2, keeping the things lit is the biggest pain. Him, because I had Mulesies. Let's pull her in favor of another medic like
Ready
Ansel.
whenever.
Let's try this. I don't know how this will work, but
We can take care of ourselves, Professor. You just focus on giving orders.
Anything outside the plan, I'll judge for myself.
Got it. There we go.
Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
Let me create a diversion.
Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
Kampo だって引かない.
Okay, that's that, which is fine. We're going to do this, and we're going to put
Stay safe, everyone.
Ansel there once we get...
Awaiting orders. You can't stop me.
No, what are you doing there? Why are you...
Please hold on.
Don't be afraid. All the best.
No!
Awaiting your orders. The medication is here.
Well, whatever.
Take it.
Whatever, it is what it is. No, 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 no. Bubble, fight them. Please.
Professor? How's that?
Break them.
Doctor? Please, come to your senses.
Of course, I'm just gonna lose. Those two are going through. I'm losing so many people here.
Hurry up.
I don't need red there. What I need is...
Solid positioning.
How soon do you want them gone?
Yep, I'm done.
No way out for you.
We've got kind of a good solid strategy there, but it's not working quite the way it should. And I may end up needing to farm a little bit. But we'll get there. We'll figure it out.
Operation commencing.
All right, so Texas, go this way.
Let me create a diversion.
Let's put her there just to see.
Awaiting orders. Got it.
All right, so we're gonna put her there. Okay.
Anything outside the plan, I'll judge for myself.
Let's do one of those numbers.
This hunt has dragged on for too long.
Okay.
Please hold on. The scent. It's thick. Got it. Cut them to pieces.
Please, come to your senses.
Distract them.
Red's just there to be a distraction at this point.
First aid box. The medication is here. Take it.
Immediately turning that back on.
in my eyes. Shut up.
All the best. Just try me.
I can't hit it that way.
No time.
I've got to keep medics rolling, but
Sorry.
this is such a pain.
My blade.
I need to get my
Not
casters out,
sharp
and I'm not getting them out
enough.
quick enough. Okay, so I managed to use a sort of similar strategy based off of what Kjeragandr V did. So we're going to use his strategy again, and I managed to beat it to an extent in practice. Like, I added a couple extra operators of my own in, but I managed to beat it in practice in the sense of the only enemy that slipped through on me was the boss. So we're going to go ahead and try that again. And I'm using a support unit of Malnar. Let's go ahead and try it. This is a pain, but...
Formation ready. Advance to the
She
objective.
goes here. She's gonna attack this. Alright. Now we need to get Cruz out here.
I'm listening. Here I am.
Okay, we need to get a medic over here to keep this furnace on.
Go gather around me, guys. Here I
And
am.
as soon as we get enough DP, Malnar goes out here.
All those I have yet.
First of all, we're gonna switch his thing over. All right, now what we need to do is we're gonna turn this one on, and we put our medic up like this. 5, 6, 7. Now we're gonna pull red over here to bait those.
There you
We pull
are.
her. We need to get a defender down here, and then the medic defender to cover him.
Let's go.
Nah.
Steward, what was I supposed to do next?
Yeah, fine.
Ah, he walked past.
There you are.
Darn. I kind of screwed that up. That's all right.
Gather around me, guys.
We will redo that here real quick. Let's redo it, because I screwed up my order.
First aid needed.
I screwed up my order. Give me just a moment. We'll try this again.
Formation ready.
Okay.
Advance to the objective.
One.
Here to help.
Whoops.
I am your shadow.
Okay. Cruz is next.
Sleep on
Malnar's
the
next.
Whew. Gather around me, guys.
Malnar's next. Then we get a medic
Here I am.
right there.
Blade wetted again. But another battle.
Keep that on.
ここだよ。
Okay. Now.
Take aim.
Blade wetted again. But another battle.
Okay, we're activating that. We're throwing medic out here. And then we're gonna bait the snowballs. And then we need to get our defender out here, which is Beagle.
We're fighting you guys. Then please do your best this job. I'm really bored.
Retreat her.
There you are.
And we put her there to keep that on.
Simple and clear.
We're moving. We're waiting to activate Malnar.
We're counting on you again today, little apple. Here I am.
Show me a good spot.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it will be over before you feel the pain.
Here I am. Oh, gather around me, guys. Is it my
So we
turn?
can retreat the defender here, and then we put Cardi here
Understood.
to block Harold. And then
Doctor?
we're gonna put somebody up here to block this guy that's coming out here.
There you are.
Show me a good spot.
They're there to pretty much stall for time. Because then we activate
Wetted again,
him
but another battle.
and go Malnar. Go Malnar Rangers.
This is the place.
Solid positioning.
Here I am.
Yeah, see, I panicked a little bit there, which is okay.
Doctor, please come to your senses.
You'll have to try harder than that.
Let me strike. Huh? Here I am.
Ooh, no.
All the best.
Yes,
私ならここ大丈夫。すぐ治るから。
blade wetted again. It will be over before.
Gather around me, guys.
Doesn't matter to me. Catch.
You can go do something else.
Show me what you got there.
I will protect us all.
Alright, so now we're down to just Harold. But we've got to get these things turned on.
Heal that wound in no time.
Gotta get that on. Because he'll start doing the snowball thing. And I don't have... Yeah, because see, now he's turning these off.
Almost
But I've got to be able to get...
gather up, my rats.
I've got to be able to get these back on. And that's the biggest problem I've got.
Simple and clear.
天井はさ、かかったら声を上げてもいいよ。我慢しないで。Watch this!
Holding a shield is tiring.
Sunlight will have
Alright, so this is gonna suck because... Red.
We're counting on you again.
Why does
today,
she
little apple.
not attack at all?
Solid positioning.
I'll be careful. I will protect us all.
It's all good. Because you know what? He's the only one left. I don't care. We finally freaking beat it. That's it. Ugh, man. That's all. I'm probably not going to get a 3-star because this is the last day. Well, I got the last full day is here, July 4th, which It's like 5 a.m. that I'm doing this right now, so I'll let him through. I don't care. As long as I'm good, whatever. I got through the story, I got through the dialogue. I'll have to beat this later on when I have my own Malnar and I can get somebody like a what's it called? See, I was using Cruz. I pretty much used his similar strategy on mine, but with my own operators, and I used my Exusier, which she had Mastery 3 on her Skill 3. Fiala was E2'd Mastery 3'd, and I had her down on the bottom to blast away people in the top. I used Texas the Omertosa to block. Excuse me. Medics were Telopsis and Calcit, I believe. Something like that. Either way, I had a much better lineup, much stronger lineup, so it's one that I can always finish that stage later. But we're gonna finish the story, and that's what matters most to me. Watch out! Degenbrecher's handing them their asses. Next. Reporting in, sir! With Colonel Harold's support, we brought all our current casualties back to safety. However, as things stand for us, we still don't have a way to strike the enemy where it hurts. Charge! Make use of your arms! The enemy is one soldier! Surround her! But, sir, wouldn't it be better for us to divert around her? She's an army of one. She's got no hope of holding us if we just widen the front. You gormless idiot! Was that meant to be a revelation to me? Then why? They didn't give you eyes in your head for nothing. You saw what our men on Kjeragandr's doorstep were attempting, didn't you? All of them as smart as you, off to break the perimeter from somewhere else. Compare that to the rest. Are they in as near as bad a state? Sir, you're not telling me. Private, I don't know what the hell I could be telling you. Doc! God! Just casually. My hand slipped. Done gossiping? What in the hell did you get here? Just now. If you were counting on a few dozen men there to stop me, then you really weren't ready for me. Monster incarnate! A few dozen won't do the trick, then surely a few hundred will. How about over 1,000? You'll learn. In the face of a real army, there is no army of one. Clench your teeth. What? Keep your mouth shut when I hit you. You don't want to bite your tongue. A bitter slice of wind whistles through. 1 against 2,000 should be the pinnacle of despair. Her golden eyes tell no such qualms, stern and still and ready. She is the predator without dispute. She is the ruler over this battlefield. Slight the affairs of one Miss Degenbrecher, dare to even begin to scorn her. And you too are an affront to her. You best hope your own life meant as little to you. Steady now, Madame Degenbrecher. If my subordinates have cocked up talks with you, then it falls to me to apologize in their stead. Oh, you? And how long can you shield them for? Well, might I suggest until I die a soldier's death? Ugh, I'm no match for your namesakes. Clearly I've not the horns to lock with you in a fight. You recall, Madame Degenbrecher, when I asked after your name? I no longer see any time like the present. Might I be elucidated? You have the guts to stall with me. Two of a mind can spare a word in no man's land. It is done, you know. It's the done thing. I barely even remember my real name. You can pretend I never had one. Plenty of people in Latanian's ruined streets without a name or a home. I'd heard tell of your Latanian birth, but never had I known that to be your life story. I once read in the dailies how you pilgrimed home there, adulation to the masses, dinners with the upper crust. Throw a trophy at a burden beast and watch them love it too. They don't tell the difference. Don't let it fool you. It's not a place where names change anything. No one's going to ask you when you're down in the gutter with the wastewater. Yet now you've a name with such power. Power? Not exactly. It was a sunny day. A gendarmerie patrol rounded up anyone with no place to go on the corner. One of them was carrying a strange weapon I'd never seen before. No point, no edge, no fine combat technique, no deep method to it. No simpler way to bludgeon. No part was anything of mention. I watched as he took that thing to anybody who tried to resist and caved in their skulls. From that moment on, it's been clear to me what I have. Not a code or a creed or a technique. Nothing that sounds nice out loud. It's violence. So that day, I named myself. I am what I wield. There's a Minoan school of thought, where they hold violence and victory as sisters. They too are inseparably close. They make one another. Look at you, and I could be convinced. Madame Degenbrecher, if you're violence in the flesh, like you say, then who exactly is your victory dedicated to? And finally, one last little quibble from me, though I do think it may not be worth much in the asking. That Gendarmerie who first enlightened you was Victory a sister to him too? I did like his Degenbrechers. Good to use, but broke too fast. Just like you, Kjeragandr. Your arm's almost gone. Hush, hush, Madame Degenbrecher, spare me the truth. I do happen to be command of my own regiment. A little dignity, if you please. Were the clock turned back 30, no, just 20 years, I'd only be too glad to be your opponent. But as it stands, and though I hate to admit it, the reality's all too obvious. I'm one of the old ones now. You don't look it. Haha, you think so too. Then I take it back. See? I've been telling them all. My mind's as sharp as ever. It's just this blasted prosthetic leg. The socket always stings on rainy days. Less talk. How long until you give? How long until I give is hardly important. What matters is Madame Degenbrecher. How long until you give? You can try me and see. She ain't gonna give. She gonna whoop your ass, and she don't care. She's just gonna keep doing it. Now both sides have made their move. It seems Degenbrecher can still bear out for the moment. Rhodes is saving his strength, and his bombers and casters are all but smelling the roses. Your wine may not have been wasted after all, Ensiotis. What of Weiss and Matterhorn? I've sent a team of Shigata to find them. Given what reports have returned so far, the two were likely taken by surprise. Viscount Kjeragandr wouldn't place them in mortal danger. That takes senility, and he has none. We can only hope. Our people are en route to the station to stand by. They'll send us word immediately once they intercept. May it be that our guest arrives on time. What are the merchants that just contacted you? They won't be too daring for now. Genosis, pass word on to the Saintess for me. You can save that step. I'm right here. If you have something to say it to me in person, Sir Ensiotis. Saintess, the Silverashes are disgraced to have allowed such a spiral of events on ceremony grounds. Once the ceremony is over, I will personally take myself to the Vinebear Court to apologize to you, Saintess. But for now, I fear the ceremony will need to be postponed for another while. As it should. Your message is loud and clear, Sir Ensiotis. If there is anything I can do, I ask you to continue to come to me directly, and not exploit that my own conscience might force me to see you first. Saintess, praise thy benevolence. But you and the court devotees must be prudent right now. After you resume this ceremony yourself, Saintess, that will suffice to appease the people. Degenbrecher's strength needs no introduction. A promise from her is exceedingly rare, and in the event she makes one, it's never broken. I think we should give her our full confidence. Is your confidence that Degenbrecher can fight 1 against 1,000, or that she has the disregard to die valiantly, in perfect service to your schemes? Degenbrecher is ahead confronting the Victorians, and I know her mentality. She holds that, her own reputation aside. The slate with Kjerag can still be wiped clean should anything go wrong. Wait, did she tell you this herself? She defends Kjerag's dignity as one of her plain, ordinary citizens. Saintess, do you believe that I bluntly provoked her? Even I might say she's changed some. Thus I've trusted her this once. I've gambled on her. Had I not, you might have watched that affable Viscount lose his life to a few panicked tourists. We gamble for a best-case scenario. Gamble? I've always considered the success or failure of anything to hinge on one's own grasp, and not entreaties to gods. Nothing goes unaccounted for. I put all the chips down. I see it through, win or lose. I've never complained about it. But Sir Ensiotis, unclasp your hands. You've bruised yourself. I ask you pray for Degenbrecher, great saintess. There's Matterhorn. Weiss! Wake up, Weiss. Matterhorn. Shit! The Victorians are changing it up! Their goal can't be that simple! We have to contact the Master! Stay still, Weiss. If they even manage to subdue and lock up both you and me, then our squad's people can't have escaped either. I've tried, but brute strength alone isn't going to free us. It's light outside. It looks like it's day already. Where are the Victorians? All gone. Unfortunately, they've probably swarmed the ceremonial grounds. Matterhorn, help me out here! What do you need? I hide a razor in my shoe's upper. If you could just take it out, Matterhorn, and toss me it. Don't be insane. What are you using razor for? In your position? Do you not value your hands? I have to try. The Master gave me this mission and I couldn't complete it. And if that's forced him into a passive situation, then In any case, even if I'm too late and he doesn't need it, I'm still going to redeem what isn't lost. I have to make up for my disappointment. I suppose you're right. Matterhorn heaves his body around, laying his fingers over the curve of Weiss's boot. But what follows betrays Weiss's hopes. He doesn't toss the razor over, but instead pinches the paper, thin tool of murder between his fingers, and with great effort, strains and slashes at the rope over Weiss's wrists. In its tenuous grip, the blade slips down between his fingers and cuts into their pulp. Vivid red blood trickles down his wrist. Matterhorn! Your hand! It'll be fine. It's just a scratch. You were going to do the same thing, weren't you? You do have a point, Weiss. Master's expecting us. We can't leave him waiting too long. Just give me one moment and I can get this rope cut. Matterhorn. Who's there? I'm not your enemy. Sorry, you two were having a moment, weren't you? Munch? Didn't you leave Kjerag? About that. Well, I'll explain in full later. Madame Cirrus sent me out to scout, and that's how I found you all tied up in this Victorian camp. Where are the others? I already set them free. Anyway, both of you get going. The Victorians kicked off battle at Lake Silberneherze. We need to be there as soon as we can. How's this gonna wrap up? Damn it! She can't hold for long! As if I could sit here and look on! You get back here, Arktosh! Do you seriously think you have monopoly on righteous anger, Arktosh? We wish we could step in. If our eyes are shot, then try using your brain. Your acting will definitely ruin things. Stooping behind others so I can feel sorry for myself runs counter to the Pelorok clan's blood. I can't bear to see this. Bear to see it, you baby. Someone here is having a harder time watching than you, I guarantee. 10 years that Degenbrecher's lived in Kjerag, hasn't she? Just to be some sacrificial pawn here? If today Ensiotis can't settle all this, then no amount of achievement, no spoil for Kjerag, could ever convince me to lend him an ear again. I'm far from the grand actor the rest of you would be. I cannot be as calm as any of you are. And it's too little too late for that. All you and I can do now is believe in her. That's all anyone can do at this point. I won't be arranging treatment for your wounded hands then. Remember to hide them with gloves when the time comes. Also, I imagine the Shigata's report aligns with your gut. We can't count on Degenbrecher lasting much longer. She's no longer evading. She's acting how she used to in her Casimir's competition days. Only afterwards. Afterwards, as she fled the assassins with you, she amended that habit. Any lack of care by her at that point, and you'd die sooner than she did. Quite. Still no word from your end. None. My investigators already returned. They're sure your guest boarded the train in question to Lake Silberneherze. If anything, it should have arrived just as the ceremony wound down. As it is, it'll still take some time until that train arrives. I see. Genosis, never have I feared any wager. Every step that I take, and I've ever taken, I've staked it all. This time is no different. I know. I believe myself to be sufficiently prepared, and yet I find my patience is made of poorer stuff. Thank you for telling me what's on your mind, and I know you want to hear me say. I know what you want to hear me say. I'll say it for you. You want to ensure the Black Knight's life, or you don't believe she can last until the end, then give the order now. I can tell you, there are still odds of success. The archers and casters at our call are best of the best. Blow up the lake's surface, create confusion, and draw the civilians and soldiers both into Midwinter's icy pocket. Anciotus, the decision lies with you. Whatever you do, I will support it. But whatever you do, you carry the consequences in kind. Those consequences are no simple political gain. You might fail to even bear them. That I can determine for you. One quick question. If it were you, then the great winter swim would already be in full swing. Ha! Let's trust in Degenbrecher. Trust she won't fall. She won't. She's the best. At some unknown point, the first wound appeared on her body. Ooh. It lies about her shoulder. A slash over her suit. An imperceptible trace of blood drawn. Speaking of blood... I'm randomly bleeding. I scratched open a scab on my leg like a moron, and now I got blood on my hands. I just cleaned it off, though. We good. I don't have a bloody mouse. It lies about her shoulder, a slash over her suit, an imperceptible trace of blood drawn. Compared to the kinds of wounds she's used to, this one's worth no mention. Degenbrecher fells the few soldiers about her. Ironically, the subtle sting only sharpens the heady mix of fear her eyes strike into you, makes her movements that much more steely cold. The second wound is brought on by Originium arts. An average caster means nothing to Degenbrecher, but the numbers advantage mutates the nature of the Originium art's efficacy. The casters among the troops cast behind their human wall. Fire, ice, and thunder burst forth in unison, with staggering momentum. Degenbrecher flings her weapons, running one of the caster's shoulders clean through, while she stubbornly approaches through the full length of their art's range and plows straight into the soldier's midst. That puts an end to that display. The third wound comes as the artillerymen aim a third ballista volley at her. An opponent armed to the teeth is no fear of Degenbrecher's, but with limbs less than free and ballistae pestering her in spades, it does get a little annoying to cope. A shell slips through and lands a scorch mark on her abdomen. Her skin is seared in an instant, but hardly any blood comes. That's good, all things considered. Degenbrecher is under no impression she'll lose. She's just not too sure she has enough blood to last much longer. The fourth wound. The fifth. She loses track. Counting them is a pain. It's not enough. Again! Lisburn! Charles, withdraw Lisburn to the rear! You staunch his bleeding. I'll be right there with first aid. She's giving out! Now's our chance! Charge! Huh. As long as I can still move a finger. Gah! I can handle any of you. Madam Degenbrecher, surely you're reaching your limits too. If you really meant to fight us out and out, you wouldn't have drawn out this situation in the first place. Fight like this any longer and I fear death will come for somebody. Isn't that exactly the kind of war you Victorians make an art of starting? The only difference here is your opponent is me alone. Harold, you're a soldier, and I am your enemy. And keenly put, Madam Degenbrecher. But I don't believe for a second that you're blind to it. Carlin Trade's private operations were ferreted out by the Trilby Ashers, and I don't think the Duke will rest on her laurels about it. That is Anciotus's problem. This is the very last chance they're leaving Master Anciotus. He only need to bend an ear to the Duke. He need only part with the sliver of the cake. Be it just 30% of what we proposed, I could still take that back to the Duke and try, for heaven's sakes. This was never even a war you needed to win. How stupid. Who do you say that as? You're window dressing. You're a tourist. You're a burden beast vet. Have you been at leisure for so long you've begun to believe your own lies? No, you've never forgotten who you are. You hate war, absolutely. You abandoned what real power was in your hands. You took what men of yours sympathized. You left the maelstrom far behind and fled to Kjerag, to a land where you thought war could never really happen. But you were still a Victorian inside. No, it wasn't even something you had to remind yourself. You might say that. I am a Victorian soldier, madam. That much is ordained, and I might loathe it, and I might flee it. But I could never sully Victoria's interests. Good. I'm the same. Is she the same as this Victorian? They don't seem very identical. She's Latanian born, Cashmere's raised, and only then came to Kjerag. They don't need to know her name. All they know is that she's born to fight solo, a victor of the night competitions, and only one to ever win 3 years running. Turn the clock back. Turn a clock further back, and she's a freak cut off from Originium arts, a pariah in Latanian. Gaining and lousing any of those things is dead simple. They bore her to death. But now, what she has isn't so easily lost, and she has no plans to lose them. Now, they are the same. This dull chat ends here. I feel all too sorry for you, Madam Degenbrecher. Oh, would that we hadn't come to this point. But if you wish it, then I choose to respect it. I must stress at this closing hour that I am, through and through, your fan. The show you made in besting each opponent dazzled like nothing else. This and this alone I ask you to believe. It cannot be lied. Ha! Noted. It's my honor. Riddled with scars, she raises her Degenbrechers once more, just as she did in her first appearance before them all. Degenbrecher point stabs into the ice. Degenbrecher's point stabs into the ice. The mist, constant over Lake Silberneherze, parts. A subdued, gargantuan rumble sinks in her enemy's stomachs. There comes the fine sound of cracking, and it's deafening. Time to end this. Order to all units! Stop her breaking the ice! Regroup ASAP! Put down the Black Knight of Kashmir! Nothing. Train just arrived? Sounds like train doors. It's not in here. Doors of some sort. Oh, it's not here either. Well, that just leaves. Or is this the Trilby Asher? Yeah, he's here. Excuse me, sir. The train is speeding up. If you must wander, then please watch your step. Oh, right. You haven't received a complimentary gift, have you? Can I ask what you'd like? As compensation for your journey's delay, your purchase is completely free this time. No need. But sir, it's a free gift. Then I give this gift to you, madam. But that's not... Take it. Now excuse me if I could pass through. All right. Thank you. Her. Oh, what in the land? My legs are a little wobbly. She get the hots for him or something? Or did he kick her in the leg? Or what the dealio? Oh, man. Ugh. Now, only the last cabin remains. After all this time running around, I'm ragged. I could retire. Huh. Not when Londinium's still refining its footing. Her grace would never let me. What will I find behind this door? The Kjerag defense, hidden until this very moment, buried deeper than ever, their covert transport routes. Whatever it is, it's a shame. It's a shame Silverash will never get to meet his... Silver-clad knight, huh? What's up, Panisco? Sorry, we've got no seats left in our cabin. Think you want to try someplace else. Actually, I can just leave... Are they Cashmere's knights? Oh my god, he's doing the same thing he did to her. Did you need something, Panisco? I'm not kidding, we're full in here. I mean, you can see we're bumping shoulders just trying to look around. That's not... Yeah, that's why I'm saying I can absolutely just leave and find my own seat. I'm not kidding either. You guys seriously don't gotta sit in a cab with me. Don't be like that, Mr. Spokesman. You and us, we're invited together, aren't we? It was all one letter. In this cabin, perfect amount of room for us to all sit. All to sit. They look after you on the way too. And with us around, the safety problem is no problem. Safety's not my problem here. Yeah, no. I don't think it's perfect, is the thing. You guys get to sit on the benches and I have to dump my butt on the table. Apologies. Excuse me. I see. I understand. I must be dreaming. Cashmere's campaign knights and a KGCC representative spokesman sat in the same private cabin of a railway car. So this is the defense Silverash plays. How bold, how well and truly typical of the clan head's style. Your Grace, I can't say it was for lack of trying, but while duty might call me to fight a gaggle of campaign knights at once, I think it's a little out of the question. More than a little. I guess your job's not easy either. Wait a second. Blemishine and Whistlash are there too. Wait, and Sharp. Stay calm. Just passing through. That uniform. This is quite the surprise party. What is a Rhodes Island doing here? Rhodes Islander doing here? I'll have to ask my boss. Wait, Doctor! Okay. Quite the shocker indeed. I wasn't expecting you in the flesh. The funny thing is, weren't Rhodes Island and Kjerag only meant to be business partners? Yes, if there's one thing I can trust, it's my memory. Rhodes Island, you... Eesh, Doctor, a little help here. Mulesies? Whoa, what's up? Sup? Our stop's coming up. We gotta get the tech pack, Doc. Whoop, who are you guys? Oh, I love it. Mulesies, let's go. Doctor, maybe you ought to bug the conductor to go a little faster. Hey, it's you! Rhodes Island and Columbia's Rhine Lab. Well, well, well. I see it's no coincidence you're all here yet. Oh, jeez. I guess someone knows me already. Doc, Mr. Sharp, Little Bomb. Little Bomb? Aren't you going to introduce this hasty guy to me here? Oh, Mulesies. She's got such an interesting story arc across 3 different events, and now making an appearance here. She's a sweetheart. Yar, I'd like to know, would Kjeragandr bless the woman waging such a bloody battle for this statue? Though she is born from other lands? Though in Kjeragandr, she has oh so little faith. That's a very easy question, Saintess. The term Kjerag simply means one who lives here, who adores this land, who finds a home in this nation. It's no matter whether Kjeragandr recognizes it. If a person identifies with it from the bottom of their heart, well, who can deny that? Yes. No one can deny that, not even she herself. She is a Kjerag. She already was. Yar, come with me to meet our visitors. Our Victorian guests have come to partake in the ceremony. As Saintess, I have to make an adequate response. At the very least, I can't go without saying hello. I'd like to stress the danger of this, but very well, Saintess. I like that song. One of the OG battle themes. Matriarch! Cirrus is back! She is! Some nerve being late. Wait, no, I told her to keep out of this. Why did she come here? Who's saying I can't come? And I didn't just come, I brought some special guests with me too. Is this let's bring guests timing to you? You make a language out of inane, you silly sister. I am not being silly. Indeed, Madame Cirrus's hand is deft and wise. I find her admirable. Radatos, you do well to finally raise your opinion of her. What the hell is this, Enciotis? Madame Cirrus, the guests have arrived safely. Good, bring them all in. I'm out. Master! Your guests are here already. Your who? These are my guests I invited. You're Madame Cirrus of the Browntail clan. Very pleased you invited us to be part of this ceremony. Cirrus, is this your pleasant surprise? Duh. Let me introduce you all. We have here our campaign knight from the Adeptus Sprawidlui Kashmirish. I have no idea how to say that one. Here to celebrate the erection of our statue of Kjeragandr. I don't really want to celebrate an erection, but okay. I sent an invitation especially to the Adeptus. That was not an easy invitation to make, so they're my guests. It's just a coincidence, Madam Cirrus. I cannot laud you enough that you were able to invite a campaign knight. My guest of honor, meanwhile, would be this fellow. Welcome, Sir Spokesman of the General Chamber of Commerce. Hello to you. I'm taking it you're Mr. Silverash. Good to meet ya, and hello from my company. Thank you for all the effort of inviting me out to Kjerag. The scenery here in Kjerag's supremely beautiful. I believe your company and mine will absolutely end the day here with a partnership we both love. Oh, and don't mind me, but I gotta say, I think I saw some mad fight out on a frozen lake the whole way here. And kind of familiar too, like one guy. I mean, those combat moves, they rang bells in my head. Oh, sorry, excuse me if I'm talking too much. It's a holdover from the old job. Ahem, right. I'll be careful not to say too much. That doesn't work towards us working together. No, Mr. Mob, I'm in need of your exact talent right now. Come again? You need? Yes, right now, this very moment. Please, come with me. I'll have them cast sound amplification arts. May I ask you to loudly proclaim that Carlin Trade and the corporations of the Kashmir's General Chamber of Commerce are about to sign an agreement. Kashmir's Kjerag will become a trusty partner. So is that supposed to stop Victoria by announcing that? What's that noise? It's not anyone splashing into the ice water, and it's not cries of help. It sounds like someone loudly saying something, and then the people all about her stumble in disarray. A loud voice, but whatever it's saying, she can't tell clearly. Her field of view narrows and dims by a fraction more. The sound almost turned to fuzz in her ears. She can't feel her own limbs anymore, but she can be sure she still has a grip on her old companions, her Degenbrechers. Because she knows her body is still acting on reflex, striking down every person that comes near. It's just too loud. Too loud. How can someone talk this noisily? Why is the crowd gone? Did someone breach her line of defense already? No. The wild beast's dulling eyes of gold suddenly flare a light. As long as she can stand, she will allow absolutely no one to pass. Brecher, Madam Degenbrecher, stop fighting! Gah! You've lost too much blood. Madam Degenbrecher, come to your senses a little. Keep flailing at this rate and you'll sink us both in the lake. We're not fighting. No more fighting, no more! Goodness, however much the Duke wants to slap Kjerag in the face, we can't be showing Kashmir's in the hand in the process. At least not now. Kept between Victoria and Kjerag, one might still call it the Duke's personal Silverash grievances. But the moment you bring Kashmir's into it too, things become far, far less simple. Are the gourmands of Kashmir's already inviting Carlin Trade to the table? With such distance between them and in such a short order. What a talented young individual. And I know the Duke won't reproach me for deciding to stay my hand. Spiffing excuse. A good half of my men you battled into the lake, Madam Degenbrecher. It was a backbreaker to scoop them out again. If we'd kept going like that, I'd need another pair of arms to treat you all. I say you need them as is. I take no criticism from anyone still hacking up blood. We're done. Well and truly done. Okay. And Siotis pulled it off. She did what she needed to do. That's all Degenbrecher hears. Now, madam, stop there. The lives we live, they always tend to be out of our hands. I wanted to retire eons ago myself, but I have to keep my own men, my all too often down-and-out brothers in mind. With this, it finally ought to be my turn for once, And in the light of the fact, your faithful fan's been beaten black and blue. Could you give me your autograph? You're still in the mood for that. This card, do tell. First time I won the major, they wouldn't leave me alone until I agreed to do a photo shoot. After that, I never agreed to another one. They were too boring for me. I see. No wonder the Black Knight's night trumps always come in those same poses, edition after edition. Degenbrecher accepts the pen Harold holds out to her and writes her name, Degenbrecher. Take it. You'd better not have anything else for me to sign. Madam, where are you going? Do you need some quick treatment? My first aid's excellent, you know. Degenbrecher lifts her head to look to the dawn. In the distance, 2 figures walk, approaching her. She still can't make them out, but she knows who they are. It's like Kjeragandr on high is gazing down on her, someplace as high as the sun. No need. I'm going back. There's people waiting for me.
Is everyone okay? Anything I can do?
Well, since you helped me, I will send you a friend request. Even though we didn't beat the stage with a 3-star, it's alright. Let's finish the story, shall we? Let's get it through. Let's see how this ends. Is it over? Did we win? Ouch! Good, at least you could still feel your arm. Now get up if you're still alive. Ouch, take it easy, Charles. Enough fooling around. Harold has enough work to do without you adding to it. Get to the lakeside if you can still walk. Pat yourselves up if you can. I need a few volunteers to help me carry the ones that can't get up themselves. I'll come with you, Jefferson. Just say it if you don't want that leg of yours anymore. We can have Harold make one for you. God's wounds, I can't believe everyone's still breathing after all that. What a bloody miracle. Could it really be Kjeragandr's protection? Isn't it the other way round? 1,000 against 1 and she's still breathing. Maybe it really is Kjeragandr's protection. It's not. Kjeragandr is kind and watchful, but this result is not the result of her power. That no one lost their life here is a miracle that we created together. That's what I believe. You're the saintess of Kjerag. Your words honor us more than we deserve. What are your instructions? I wouldn't call it instructions per se, just an invitation to attend the post-ceremony banquet, as is the place of the host. After, aren't you here in Kjerag for the ceremony? I thought exile would be the best case scenario. We're allowed to participate in the banquet. Would you rather be here for the banquet, or admit that you're here for a military operation and go to prison? Go on, be my guest. Saintess, everything is ready. The banquet can begin at any time. Thank you, Yar. Why thank me? No particular reason, just wanted to thank you. Kjerag will become a better place, Kjar. There will come a day when people from the outside will know more than just Carlin trade. See more than just the snow, mountains, and valleys. They will know that there is a country here by the name of Kjerag. A respectable country with its unique culture and customs, where its people live in prosperity. Sounds great. You sure you don't need a little help, Enya? Without that, you wouldn't have any rainbows. Kjeragandr's blessing reaches into the hearts because of how precious it is. If we ask Kjeragandr for a miracle for every little thing, then what's left is not religion but reliance. When you start to take something for granted, that's when you stop respecting it. Things are fine the way it is. Let's just hope Kjeragandr doesn't get angry at me for thinking this way. Ha! Don't worry, Enya. Nothing makes a mother happier than to see her child start to walk on its own 2 feet. I'm done, Mr. Silverash. This is my first outdoor speech. Are you sure this is going to work? It was perfect, Mr. Mob. Your voice was filled with passion. No one could pick a flaw in it. Even though you declined my offer to have someone magnify your voice with Originium Arts, the amplification device that you used performed above and beyond expectations. Is this your company's new product? This amplifier? No, of course not. It's good, but the market for amplifiers is cornered by a few big companies. There's no place for us there. Forget I said anything. I've heard about corporate competition in Kashmir's. You didn't say anything that I didn't know. So what is it that you're using? A gift from a friend I met on the train. He probably thought it was just a toy. Could have thought that it would come in so handy when Mr. Silverash made that abrupt request. I see. Mr. Mob, Carlin Trade would love very much for our cooperation to extend beyond this one time. I will have someone take you around Kjerag for the next few days, including tours of our mines and factories. Please accept this as a token of my sincerity. I believe Kjerag will not disappoint you. They stopped. They really stopped. It's like you said. That man in a suit opens his mouth and both sides stop fighting before long. I thought we were in for a real fight. Didn't Silverash tell you guys to get there quick? But it was all over in an instant. Why did the Victorians and Kjerag stop fighting as soon as he arrived? Because he's a spokesman for the Cashmere's General Chamber of Commerce. Who? Is that really important? Oh, wait, I know. The important thing is that he's from Cashmere's, isn't it? Victoria wants to bully Kjerag for its own interests, but they have to be careful when it comes to Cashmere's, who's also here for its own interests. I think something like this came up in one of Anna's tests. So this is why Silverash contacted you and Mulesi's? You're his backup plan? You're learning, Lido. No wonder you were in such a hurry. Stuff like this is a pain. But how did you know that the man in the suit was the spokesperson for what again? You know him? We've met. Oh yeah, you and Amia went to Cashmere's for a while. I want to go with Mamochka if I get the chance. There are a few knights I really like. They're so cool. Oh yeah, Doctor. Did you give him something at the station? Just a little help. Really? Somehow I can't help but think there's more than meets the eye. Oh, Mulesi's chatting with someone. Should we go over? You have people you know here too, don't you, Sharp? I'm working right now. One who invited me is probably a little too busy right now. Taking in the view here isn't such a bad idea. Sure. I'll stay with you. I don't think that's going to work. There's someone waiting for you there. For me? Who? Oh, him. Are you not going? Well, there really isn't anything I want to say to him. This sucks! Sorry, Doctor. Sharp, give me a minute. I'll be back soon. She's gotta go talk to Dad. Papa. Rosalind. You got something to say, spit it out. Otherwise, I've got places to be. Wait. I just wanted to make sure that you're safe. I couldn't come find you in that chaos. I'm fine. The Victorians weren't looking for me. Even that Trilby Asher guy is no match for Sharp and the Doctor. That bastard's still after you? I don't think so. It didn't look like he was here for me. Well, he's lucky he ran away. Sharp and I would have given him a nice little beating. Don't underestimate a Trilby Asher. I don't like their methods either, but the Trilby Ashers are a big deal. Didn't seem like he was anything special. That's because Enciotis has Degenbrecher to keep him down. A warrior must never underestimate an enemy, Rosalind. All right, you done then? I gotta go. Wait. 3, 2... Rosalind, I spent a lot of time thinking about last night. I was weak back then. The days with your mother were like honey. I couldn't keep myself from thinking about her. Couldn't keep myself away from her from the very beginning. I dragged you and Tatiana into that mess, but abandoned you when I couldn't handle the pressure. You were right to yell at me, Rosalind. Whatever I say now won't be anything more than an excuse. For more than a decade, my memory has tried to justify it. It whitewashes the memories for a man too weak to face his own weaknesses, so that he can continue to feel safe, continue to run away. He lied so much he even fooled himself. It's my fault. I deserve to be scolded and scorned by you. And I can't blame you for being disappointed in me and Kjerag. I let you and your mother down. I'm sorry. There's one thing I want to make clear. Mamochka never said anything bad about Kjerag, or about my papa. She even taught me how to pray to Kjeragandr, even though I never really believed in it. Mamochka only ever said good things about this place. Tatiana, she doesn't hate Kjerag? Why would I lie? I told you, didn't I? She said my papa was really handsome. Of course, I'm having doubts about that now. It was before I started in with the beard. Tatiana did say she liked my face. Wait, did she tell you all this? Could it be that she doesn't blame me? Stop. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Don't count on other people not blaming you if you know you're wrong. But it's exhausting to live with hatred. You underestimate Mamochka. If you thought she would spend a decade hating you and Kjerag, you're not worth it. You're right. It's not worth it to live in pain for a man like me. It's all for the better. Good. You get it. I didn't know who my papa was, and now I do. But that's all there is to it. I don't need recognition from your family. Pelarok business is none of my business. I'm the daughter of Tatiana Yevgenyevna Larina. I'm Rosalind Tatianova Larina, codename Lido. Remember that. It was Tatiana who named you, Rosalind Tatianova Larina. Rolls more smoothly off the tongue than Pelleroke. Lido. Not bad. Not bad. A nice code name. At least you have taste. Oh yeah. This is for you. A bank account? Child support for all these years. The amount is in the back. I rounded it down for you. Please make the transfer at your earliest convenience. Child support? I said it yesterday, didn't I? Living expenses, tuition, medical bills, emotional damages for a deadbeat dad. It's all there. Gotta go. Oh, that's cold as balls, man. She got him good. Wait, Rosalind, the currency conversion might take some time. I'll find someone to take care of it as soon as possible. Rosalind, please, can I see Tatiana one more time? Just once. In your dreams. She left him behind. And he's gonna make fun of him, isn't he? Is this your will too, Kjeragandr? The matters of the world are beyond a mere mortal's ability to predict. Master, why are you standing all the way up front? There's nothing to see in particular. Just passing by. You said you just became a grandfather the last time you came to pray, Lucas? Yes, my son's daughter. Good thing she looks like her mother. That foreign woman my son insisted on marrying from, what's the name? Syracusa. Fierce woman, that. Well, at least that kid of mine got a taker. Were you against the marriage? What's the point if the young ones are in love? I might have said a word or two in my younger days, but now, just let them be. You said you wanted a warding stone for your granddaughter, didn't you? Hoping that some of Kjeragandr and Saintess' blessing would rub off, you know? You can have this. This mark? It's a stone blessed by the Saintess herself. That's too precious for someone like me, Master. Take it. Consider it a welcome gift for your granddaughter as she comes into this world. I'll pray to Kjeragandr that the children of Kjerag can grow up without illness, pain, or sorrow. By Kjeragandr. By Kjeragandr. Phew. The Black Knight is definitely more than just a name. To think she wasn't trying to kill. A little too much for old bones like mine. Sir, your injuries. Just a scratch. Don't want to miss the Saintess' banquet after all. It's not every day that I get to be called sir by you, though. I think I just lost my appetite for some reason. My condolences concerning your appetite, my lord. I'll report the facts of your performance in Kjerag and the changes in the situation to the Duke. Suit yourself. I'm confident that I did nothing to displease her grace. What about you, Trilby Asher? The waters of Londinium you could muddle, but Kjerag gives you little room to maneuver. No need to worry about me, my lord. I have completed the mission assigned to me by her grace. Oh, Kjerag is not worth devoting too much time and effort to. There are elements that require the Duke's attention. You mean, we thought it was Carlin trade or Kjerag's geographical advantages as a natural fortress and commerce hub. Seems like her grace is truly grounded or visionary. Are you here to visit the true form of Kjeragandr? Of course. Her grace wants to know whether Kjeragandr truly exists in Kjerag. In times of crisis, will Kjeragandr really help her people? Interesting. And your conclusion? I do not recommend that the Duke confront Kjerag military at this time. Seeing the Kazimierzian corporations that publicly entered into partnership with Carlin Trade, I also ran into a Colombian scientist on the way here. Force is not the smart plan. Winning is easy, making money is hard. We're not Ursine, it's not worth it. It's not every day that we agree with each other. Did you hit your head or something? Like you, I'm a pacifist. Ew. Just talk like you normally do, please. If it saves some time and effort. My lord. Yes. Are you familiar with this little trinket? A bird and beast blind box. They're all the rage right now. Why would you buy this? Well, that's not important. Open it up and let's see what's inside. I've got a full set, but I'm missing the limited edition secret version. No one knows what the blind box holds until it's open. The mystery is what makes it alluring. Perhaps I shouldn't open it. Well, are you going to open it or not? I'll have it if you're not going to open it. I'll open it. What's this? What did you find? Let me see. Mother of mercy, this is... Frozen Crystal Bird and Beast Secret Limited Edition! What kind of luck is that? I've been opening these boxes since the first day I arrived in Kjerag. and I've never gotten this one. Kjeragandr, this is not fair. Chobi Asher, we're both in her grace's employ. Do you think you could? I'm afraid not, my lord. I must stay in Kjerag for a while longer after submitting my report. Thanks to you, I just realized that collecting Burden Beast accessories isn't such a bad pastime after all. Oh my god. All the shit that happened to him, and he gets that lucky in the end. How dumb. Can you stand? Not dead yet. I'll be fine in a few days. Good. Genosis? He went down first. He says he's footing the bill tonight. He has a lousy taste. Pick for him. Okay. You've been walking around in circles there for ages. You got something to say, out with it. I'm thinking that my debt to you seems to keep growing from Casimir's to here. One that I don't see a way to repay. You're afraid I'd jump ship. It would be a big loss. You want to repay me? Name your price. Genosis will find a way. Forget it. All I did was follow an arrogant young man to these bleak frozen hills 10 years ago on a whim, a place where the temperature hovers around freezing on the warmest days. Life here didn't turn out to be so bad, so I started doing what I could. What does any of that have to do with you, Ensiotis? I guess you're right. You stayed for the land, not for me. I didn't think I would hear it from your own mouth. And don't put on that act about owing me. Tell the truth. What are you thinking? I'm thinking. There will come a day when people from the outside will know more than just Carlin trade, see more than just the snow, mountains, and valleys. They'll remember the name Kjerag. Don't get too excited. You may have won this round, but at the end of the day, you've just gotten yourself even more tough customers. Should I thank you for bringing Casimir's back to me? Ensiotis stays silent for a moment, then picks up a broken piece of ice from the ground and points it at the sun. The ice is dauntingly cold, but it glitters under the sun, almost glaringly. Yes, Casimir's has come. Columbia is coming. Things will only get more complicated. You can't win every time. Have you ever lost? No. That's too bad. You must have never met an opponent like me. Oh? Come with Genosis to the Shigata's training grounds. I'll take both of you on at the same time. One hand tied behind my back. Haha. Genosis is actually not bad with a sword. You're in a good mood. It's all done. 3 years of perseverance have borne fruit at last. We broke things wide open. Castor is no longer an existential threat. And the independence of Kjerag is no longer a pipe dream. In other words, you've drawn the attention of both arrogant Victorian nobles and unscrupulous Casimir's merchants, soon to be joined by scientists with no qualms about morals or ethics. Even more people will hate you for bringing even more chaos to this country. Let them. I don't care. All I care is... Excuse me, are you the Black Knight? Yes. So it's true, the Black Knight is in Kjerag. It's really the Black Knight, this makes it all worth it! And you're the president of Carlin Trade, aren't you? I've been a fan of the Black Knight since I was 5. Can I get her autograph? That's up to her. Do you want to sign these for these young folks, Degenbrecher? Fine. The campaign knights eagerly call out to their comrades. A little line forms on the ice. It's like one of the many small fan meet and greets on the streets of Casimir's. Campaign knights give Degenbrecher their cards and Degenbrecher writes her name on them. Ensiotis chats with the knights every now and then, playing the part of a good host. It is all very natural. No one has the slightest complaint. Eventually, the knights leave satisfied and Calm returns to the ice. Dude, she's over here injured from a battle and a whole line of people just line up for autographs. No concern for her injuries or anything like that. I mean, sure, she's the Black Knight. She's legendary. Everybody knows how tough she is and it don't matter. But still, like, come on. Like, that's just ridiculous. And he just plays along with it. He's just like, you're all right. Get over here. Let's go. Get some autographs, people. Campaign knights I know aren't that excitable. Our partnership with Casimir's has just begun. The Adeptus Sprowiedlui Casimir's wouldn't have sent the real campaign knights. This is just the Browntails spending their own money to invite some youths over for a sightseeing trip. But it probably took the Black Knight's name to get them to agree. How do you feel? Maybe I'm no different from the Casimir's that you hated. You're just another chip in my hands. All of it is the same, be it your identity as the Black Knight, Casimir's exploitation of you, your martial strength, and your value as a soldier. You find this unacceptable? Now? I've gotten used to it. Oh, wow. How beautiful that is. Let us once again welcome our friends from far away. The doors of Kjerag are always open to those who come in good faith. Let us remember the friendships forged today. By Kjeragandr. By Kjeragandr. By Kjeragandr. By Kjeragandr. Thank you for the invitation, Saintus. You're Mulesies from Rhyme Lab. It warms me up that you still remember me. The mountains and rivers of Kjerag that I saw along the way were awfully pretty. I'm sure we'll have a great partnership. Rhyme Lab's partner is Carlin Trade, Miss Mulesies. But you were the one calling the shots in Kjerag. Building a launch pad on Carlin is a big deal. Mr. Silverash has stressed the need to get the Saintus' blessing. I have heard about this from Sir Enciotis. Carlin is the spine and body of Kjeragandr. I must say, I have reservations about such a massive project taking place there. Saintus. Excuse me. What is it, Yar? That launch pad that they're talking about, it sends things into the sky, right? If they build it here, does it mean that Kjeragandr will get a few cannons on her body? Cannons? Yar, do you think Kjeragandr would object? Object? Why? It sounds so cool. You should say yes. It's funny. Lisburn, what happened? The daughter, oh my god. Those wounds, it's nothing. Freya, I have something important to tell you. What is it, Lisburn? I heard Snow, the knitted words on your clothes look so nice. You! Pansy, he cheaped out on it. Come on. She probably knows, though. The snowy mountains are so beautiful on a fine day like this. Huh? Oh, yeah. He chickened out. He chickened out, he pansied out, however you want to say it. He just was too chicken shit to actually go through with it. Ah, damn it all. The Burke ran away from that? I should shoot him for desertion. Keep it down, Jack. Did you all peep on me like this back in the day when I proposed to my wife? Come now, Harold, this isn't personal. We do this with everyone who proposes. Is Lisburn really going to propose after a fight like that? What does he have to lose after a fight like that? She says yes, he gets to bury his bones here. She says no, he gets closure and returns to Victoria. That's going to take him the better part of a full year to recover. You have a point. You idiots, why didn't you call me over to help? Are you going to let your brother propose empty-handed? No ring, fine, but not even a flower? It's all ice and snow here. Where are you going to find a flower? Make an ice flower, then. What do you carry your weapons for? Nothing shows sincerity like the handmade stuff. That's what the ladies like, don't you understand? Well, you're in a better position to understand than any of us, right, Harold? Ice flower, eh? I'm sure there's someone back home who will be very interested to know. Wait, don't you run your mouth in front of my wife. I've never given an ice flower to any woman other than Lily. It was just an example, really. I don't really think Harold's a bad dude. He's a soldier. He had to do what he had to do. I didn't expect to see you here. It's my job to protect the doctor. Same old story. Care to spar? She don't care! After you've fully recovered. We can do it after hours if I'm still in Kjerag then. Alright. How many people do you have who are better than you? I wouldn't mind making the trip myself if there are enough of them. So apparently they know each other. You used to commentate the night competitions? No wonder your voice sounded familiar. Maybe I watched a match you were covering. Thanks for the compliment. Not that I have much to write home about other than my voice. I didn't expect to see the campaign knights here, though. The ones in silver armor? They're so cool. I invited them here. And you too, Rosalind. You're a guest of mine as well. Enjoy the hospitality of Kjerag. The brown tails are adorable. Like, they seem like kind of bitchy, but like still hot. Like, let's go. Anyways, I must thank you, Doctor. Thank you for accepting the invitation and for your little gift to Mr. Mob. It was quite helpful. You had a plan even without my help, didn't you? It would have involved more effort. Under the circumstances, I'm plenty thankful just to speed things up by a step. I hope you're happy with our hospitality. Was it you who invited Rhine? I thought Rhodes Island was the extent of your manipulation. Garland Trade invited Rhine Lab to discuss cooperation, but I, Ensiotis, invited you, Doctor, for the sole purpose of attending the ceremony and nothing else. You could take part of the credit for this festive scene before us. Come, ally. I will be happy to be your guide, if you would like to see what Kjerag is like now. I'll be your guest then, so to speak. One more thing. Are you surprised that she didn't come? As an ally, I'm sure you understand what I mean. Heart is doing fine. She said she'll give you a surprise, the plural you. Glad to hear that. It's just that this was on short notice and she happened to be away from Rhodes Island. Glad to hear that. It's a shame that she couldn't come on such important occasion, but if she continues to climb, then whatever peak she reaches, she'll hear the wind of Carlin from the top. Cliffheart, his other sister. Ratatos. You shouldn't be here now. The absence of the head of one of the three great houses at the Saintess' banquet will draw unnecessary attention. Cirrus will take care of things. If there's anyone who shouldn't be here at the time, it's the CTO of Carlin Trade. I'm sure that Director of Rhine Lab has many things she wants to discuss with someone in a technical position. Ensiotis will take care of her needs. We want Rhine Lab's technology, and they want Carlin's elevated terrain. Fundamentally, this is a business deal. That's more in Ensiotis' domain. I guess you're right. I'm thinking that Ensiotis might have had a dozen contingency plans for today's incident. He put up a good act of being worried, though. Did it fool you? That's the kind of person he is. I'm not surprised. There's one thing that you're off the mark about, Ratatos. There's the rare occasion that he didn't put up an act. Yes, it's not like him. Not sufficiently profit-driven, too much risk, yet the best outcome was achieved for everyone. You hear that, Genosis? It's the sound of metal coming together to form a monster. I've listened to the heavy noise of construction for long enough. Project 1 is near completion from what I've heard. You've heard right. But for all the effort we committed, even building Kjeragandr's statue is a ruse and building the base underneath Lake Silberneherze. For all the time we put in, the effort it took to hide it all. What is this? One battleship is all we managed to build. A battleship? For what purpose? We can't hide it for long. Even if Victoria lets it go this once, the world will eventually figure out what we're doing. That's why we don't need to hide it on purpose. Just try not to draw too much attention. I'm sure you realize why Victoria stopped. We must develop as much as we can now while the powers at work are still in balance. This is the only way out for Kjerag. I hope it all goes as well as you say. Speaking of which, Ratatos, yes? I heard some rumors. Are you really going to call the Project 1 ship the Walnut? Heh. Why not? That silly sister of mine came up with an interesting idea this time. She said that when she has her own kids, she'll tell them that this ship is their older brother. Cute, isn't it? What is the purpose of the battleship? I'm curious. Hey, we're back at the land ship. Oh, it's Mom. Rosalind, I'm sorry I couldn't come with you to Kjerag this time. You took the box to the top of the mountain, didn't you? Mamochka! You can trust me. You went out again? The doctor told you to stay in bed. Just taking a walk, I'm fine. All this fuss over one broken bone. I'm getting suffocated. Stuck in a hospital room all day. That's because you weren't careful when fiddling with that jetpack. It was fun, wasn't it? Oh, she played with a jetpack and broke her leg? Wow. I want to try it again sometime. Did you have the chance to try out rock climbing while you were in Kjerag? No, I didn't. You really should. Next time you have a chance. It's fun. I'll take you on an adventure in Sargon once my leg's healed. Sammy sounds good too. I can't wait. She's a very adventurous person, it seems. We did it. I may not have gotten a 3-star on RS-8, but I finished the main story. And with that, I am happy. Okay. Got all the furniture pieces except for the one in the challenge mode, EX-8. But those are the EX stages and things. We don't need that. All right, in celebration, let's do a few rolls on this particular headhunting banner, since the first 6-star will be
I'm scavenger. Leave the dirty
a brand new one. And I don't know
Just
which one we'll
cleaning
get,
up
but we'll try it. Let's see what we can get. We'll do a few pulls and see if we get anything within them.
どうも、ジェイと申します。星熊さんに勧められてロードスに来やした。
All three 4-stars so far.
Is this the office of
Vigna?
the doctor? I've been looking for
I
the place
think.
quite a while, and it'd be
I'm losing
really
track, I'm tired.
appreciated if- what?
Okay. Why?
Excuse me.
Another
Is this the
Vigna.
office of the doctor?
So 2
I've been
Vigna,
looking for
we
the place
had
quite a while,
Jay,
and
and we
it'd be really
had
appreciated if
somebody else.
what?
I don't remember. I'm too tired. Here's a 3. It's Melantha. Oops.
Hello,
Haze.
I'm Haze. I like relaxing work environments
She's adorable.
and an
And last one that we could do for now. Pinecone. Oops. All right, guys. So that is it for the Rides to Lake Silberneherze event. We got through the story, managed to beat the stage, again with a little bit of help, but I was able to beat it and complete it. Granted, with a 2-star. It wasn't a 3-star to beat the final stage, but it's okay. I got the beat, or I got the completion. I got through I got the furniture pieces, that kind of stuff. So we're good. We're good to go. And we got Mommy Degenbrecher. I feel freaking good about that. Honestly, guys, that was a lot of fun. That was a good event. A lot of cool story bits and things that came out of it. Some interesting characters. I was not expecting Mulesies to show up out at the end there, but learning the connection as to why she appeared and stuff. It's really, really cool. There was some really neat things there. Now, I know I talked about it before about how this wasn't a particularly dark story or anything like that, but it did have some moments there, especially towards the end, that really opened it up for some things. And like, number one, with that battleship, that makes me really curious. What's going on there? What's the deal with the brown tails, and you know, why they're doing those kind of things? Obvious that there's work between the 3 clan heads or something, because you've got Genosis, you've got her. So I'm assuming the Palorokes know about that too, at least for now. But you've also got the stuff with the Victorian Knights the Victorian military and what was going on there, and the fact that there was a lot of things going on in Harold's mind towards the end. And then, of course, Cashmere's involvement in the end, and the things with Degenbrecher, and there was a lot there towards the end that brought some closure to some things for some characters and to the story for the event, but opened up to a lot of questions and things for in the future. So with that being said, though, we managed to make it through. We managed to see the completion of the story. I do like what happened between Rosalind, her Leto, and her dad, how that ended. That was pretty funny. I do like how things ended with Degenbrecher there and the fight, and then how things went with her conversation with Enciotis or Silverash. But I still find it hilarious that he just like eggs on the young knights to come and line up for an autograph, and she's like, hello, like I could be dying here, and you're just like, oh, fine, whatever, I'll sign them for you. It's all started with Harold. She gave her autograph to him, and then boom, the rest of them come running. But it was funny learning about the story about her card, though, too, and the photo shoot, the reason behind that. But it is what it is. There was a lot of fun there. And I do really like her character. And the fact that sometimes she's unintentionally funny, I still harken back to that particular thing, that particular moment. But it was very, very funny for her. But that's it for that one, guys. Now, again, as always, I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to hang out with me and watch these videos, to watch these stories and to watch us play through. And in the future, I'm hoping to be to the point where I will have a strong enough team that I won't have to worry about using so much tutorial stuff. I'm hoping that I can get to the point here where I can farm for resources and things a bit better and be able to involve myself in getting these resources, getting my operators elite 2'd and maxed out, and getting their skills and stuff specialized and mastered, skill mastery and stuff completed, so that I'm able to build a better team and go after things. And next time we have a limited banner of some sort with the focus selection and things, I will be saving up towards getting some of the special operators. And like, I know that in the future we'll have stuff where we'll be able to get Texas the Omertosa and Nero the Radiant Knight, W, Spectre the Unchained, and characters like that. Again, we'll be able to get them, of course, and I'll continue to try and pull for them as we can. And of course, as long as I don't get them, I will put into the time and effort to get the 300 pulls or whatever it is to be able to get those once you hit the focus selection out of the shop. So that'll be another thing. And I know in the future, if those of you that follow the Chinese servers and things like that, we have W Altar coming up. And when W's Altar comes up, there's a thing with that one where you only have to get 200. So just a little bit over what this one was for Degenbrecher. Even though she's not limited, you had to get the 150 for her. For W Altar, you have to get the 200. But they said to not spend the 200 because if you hit 200, your next pull or whatever is her. And then as long as you save that 200, you'll still have it and you'll be able to get another operator out of the shop or something to that effect. It's really odd how it works, but it's pretty cool. So we'll get them. And I do want to get Malnar for this account. I do have him on the other one, and I did use him to finish the event on my other account, my main account. So it is what it is, but we will continue and we will work forward towards getting a better team and being able to beat these events without so much help. And of course, help's there. Rely on it when you can. Same for you guys. If you're struggling with it, use these videos, whether they're mine or whether any of these other people, and use these videos to help you, to help make things better for you guys, to beat these events and to beat other stages and things like that. They're there for a reason. Utilize it. With that being said, though, guys, that is it for this part of the series for Arknights, and that is it for this particular video. As always, you guys can like the video, subscribe to the channel. Those are 2 ways you can help me grow. As always, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.